Part 24. After having everything taken away, she returns as a god. Author, Ching Qian. Chapter 231. Seeing that Hilton frowned again, he was about to get angry. The president scolded in time, "Who? I don't know if I can't come up at this time. I feel like taking it down quickly, don't disturb Mr. Hilton." Manager Luo's tone changed. "President, CEO, she. The girl took off her hat and revealed her face. She has fair skin and long soft hair. The light dyed her brows and eyes dark red, which was a little thrilling. I fucking put one hand in his pocket, and his eyes were loose. "I heard that you were looking for me, so I came up. If I don't need it, then I will go down." It was quiet in the box. In addition to Hilton, several other bosses are also there. Their eyes fell on Si fucking's body, completely motionless. They have all seen the photos of Si fucking. But the real person is even more beautiful than the photo, and there is no way to describe this face in words. "Okay, very good." Hilton raised his brows and showed a smile. "Eudaxia Empire has an old saying that those who know current affairs are Junja. You are very interesting. He also doesn't like to force others, so it doesn't make much sense. Still wishful thinking." Si fucking glanced at him and asked politely, "Who are you?" "This is Mr. Hilton." Manager Luo returned to his senses and introduced, "Mr. Hilton is from the Western continent. Fucking, you must seize the opportunity." After he finished speaking, he gave her a warning look, meaning that she should not make any small moves, otherwise it would be ugly to die. Well, Si fucking smiled, "I must seize the opportunity." Several people didn't think about it at all. How could Si fucking come up voluntarily, and why things went so smoothly? "Then I won't disturb your good deeds." The president bowed to Hilton. "The rest of Zhongchangning will be delivered to you immediately when someone arrives." Hilton is very satisfied. "Okay, I have everything you want this time." The president was overjoyed. "Thank you, Mr. Hilton." He waved his hand and asked Manager Luo to follow him away. Hilton's status is the highest, and the remaining bosses naturally won't fight. They all found an excuse to leave. "Let's go now," Si fucking suddenly said. "Stay and play together, there are so many people." As soon as the sentence came out, everyone looked over in astonishment. Manager Luo was even more incredible. "Si fucking, what are you talking about?" Hilton's eyes also changed. "I can't tell, you are a little girl who is having a good time." "No, it's a bit small here, so it's not very fun to play." Si fucking got up slowly, "but it's okay to warm up." Her feet were on the coffee table. SHH. In an instant, the coffee table turned over in the air and smashed straight towards the door. Several bosses couldn't dodge at all and were crushed below. Although the president and Manager Luo were not hit, their legs were weak and they fell to the ground. The sudden change was unexpected. Hilton's expression changed greatly, his reaction was extremely fast, and he said sharply, "Catch her." The guards around him also recovered, and immediately stepped forward to surround Si fucking. Hilton was relieved. These guards are all evolutionary, not ordinary people can deal with. Even if Si fucking can fight again, he will die when he encounters an evolutionary. But he won't let her die, just abolish it? Really bad luck. I thought it was a wink, but I didn't expect it to be a hard bone. Hilton looked at the president coldly. "You have done a good job, and the other one will be sent to me after I have lost my hands and feet." The president took a hard breath. "Yes, I will do it for you. Please leave here first." Hilton snorted coldly and left quickly. The president struggled to get up, but he was still terrified. Fortunately, Hilton has always been cautious and brought evolutionaries. Evolvers are not something ordinary people can know. The president has also dealt with Hilton many times before realizing that there is such a group in the world. It has perfect evolution genes and mutant abilities beyond ordinary people. This is simply the evolution of all human dreams. When you have money and power, you want more power. It is a pity that the evolutionary is only born, and it has not been found that any evolutionary was transformed by the day after tomorrow. The president sneered, "Si don't think that you can fight. If you know how to fight, you can resist. Do you think we can't count? TNL media has been in the entertainment industry for so long, how is it so easy to be shaken?" But Si skill was indeed a omission, and they could only send the unknown Countess to Hilton to calm his anger. President, let's leave too. Manager Logo was quite frightened. It's enough to have Mr. Hilton's guard here. Well, the president tidied up his clothes. Let's go. Before his feet took a step, a scream rang in his ears. Well, evolutionary Si pinched the throat of one of the guards and smiled coldly. When did a few sea-level evolutionaries from the western continent dare to be arrogant in my summer? Boom. Like a thunder blasting in his ears, the president's mind went blank. How are you, how? How could Si know the existence of the evolver? And, still so clear about the level? Several guards also changed their faces, and what frightened them even more was that their legs were not obeying orders. Can't move at all. Shanglu, prepare to close the net. Si released his hand and took out his mobile phone. Bring it to me too. Just after the call ended, Yu Xian's call came in. There was a rare deepness in his voice. Where? I'm working on my hands and feet. Si said lightly. If it goes well, I can invite the boss to have a late night snack. Okay. Yu Xian was infected by her smile, paused, and smiled slightly. I'll pick you up later. At the end of the call, Feng San asked nervously, "Ninth brother, Miss Si didn't meet the Witch of the Night, did she?" Not yet, Yu Xian said, with deep eyes, but I can't guarantee it. The big three of T18 have always been moody, and the Witch of the Night is even more mysterious and unpredictable. Even Yu Xian couldn't predict what kind of scene the Witch of the Night and Si would meet. He couldn't take the risk if it were an emergency. Feng San couldn't understand. Ninth brother, how did the Witch of the Night come? Even if T18 is invaded, it doesn't have to be her turn to take action, right? Why is the Night Witch is an A-level evolutionary, and it is also a top-level existence in the Evolutionary Alliance? Isn't T18 very short of people? Yu Xian glanced at him lightly. You can only ask questions. Feng San immediately shut up. Encircle those contraband. Yu Xian got up and said in a cool tone, I'll go there in person. Feng San and Kenyan and Shenying went to meet Zero's investigator. Kenyaning scratched his head. Ninth brother knows the Witch of the Night. We met 2 years ago. Feng San hummed, but we didn't fight. Is that so? Hey, it's said that the Witch of the Night is very good looking. Kenyan suddenly said, so she was going to marry the ninth brother at that time? No, I asked. Feng San's forehead twitched. It's the one from the action team. Oh, Kenyan didn't feel any difference. Anyway, they're all violent freaks. Feng San. That's right. After a few minutes, Hilton was back in the box again. He was thrown to the ground by Shang Lu, and his hands and feet have been abolished. Hilton looked at the guard who fell to the ground, and his brain was congested with blood. Shang Lu stepped forward and said respectfully, Miss Si, we have caught the backstage of the auction, and the boys and girls they tied up have also been moved to a safe area, and no one was injured. Well, very good, our action was very successful. Si nodded. Have you met anyone else? Other people? Shang Lu thought for a while. It seems that he met a countess who broke into the basement by mistake, but she quickly left. Si nodded. Just leave. She also heard that Hilton wanted to attack the countess just now. Si turned around and his eyes fell on Hilton again. She walked in slowly. Hilton also kept stepping back. He was shaking all over and his teeth were chattering, but he was still stern. What do you want to do? I warn you, I am not only these guards, I also know other evolutionaries. Do you know the Evolutionary Alliance? Even if it's your supernatural authority in Daxia, it can't compare. Who are you looking for? Or who is above you? Si fucking pinched his throat, with his foot still on his lap, smiling. Chris or Augilia? Chris, the lesser leader of the Evolutionary Alliance. Augilia, a super-grade evolutionary of the Evolutionary Alliance. Finally finished writing the most stuck paragraph, stuck for a day. It's almost 3,000 after 200 votes. In the last few hours, there are still a lot of darlings who have votes. See you in April. I will continue to work hard to update equal 3 equals. After having everything taken away, she returns as a god. Author, Ching Qian. Chapter 232. These two names sound very unfamiliar to the president and manager logo of TNL Media, even to Hilton. Who is Chris? Who is Augilia? Hilton didn't have time to think about this at all, he only felt an unprecedented sense of fear and oppression. He didn't even expect that SI fucking's force value was so high that even a C-level evolutionary couldn't suppress it. Even the C-level evolutionary was like an ant in front of her. Could it be that she is a B evolution? But aren't all evolutionaries above B rank under the control of the occult authority? How is it possible that he is still in the entertainment industry openly and above board? Hilton's brain was completely messed up, tremblingly watching the girl keep approaching, like a devil taking his life. It seems that I don't know each other. Si fucking held the red wine bottle and patted his face again and again. If you know them, I may let you go straight to them to settle accounts. Why don't you know them? Bring the evolvers from the western continent to my summer to be arrogant, so capable? Huh. Before Hilton could say a word, Si fucking raised his hand. Boom. The red wine bottle exploded on Hilton's head, blood dripping and his ears buzzing. The pain spread from the brain to the limbs, and then he screamed out, very shrill and creepy. Seeing this scene, the president and manager logo have completely lost their ability to act, and their spirits are on the verge of collapse. Si fucking, who is she? This hurts. Si fucking's voice was very soft. How much pain does it have for you to mutilate so many innocent people, they, and their parents? Where is Hilton's previous arrogance? He knelt down and begged for mercy, trembling all over. I was wrong, I was really wrong. You forgive me, I don't dare anymore. I will give those people back when I go back. People give money. I give them all the money. Money doesn't matter to him right now, he just wants to save his life. Well, money. Si fucking laughed softly, his eyes filled with brutality. Do you think that money is everything? Before Hilton could finish speaking, he let out another scream, which made people's scalp tingle. On the side, Shanglu was also numb. Anyway, he has been following Miss Si for the past few months. What hasn't he seen? The Onmyoji has come out, and one more evolutionary person is not a big deal. A few seconds later, Shanglu squatted down holding his head, his worldview collapsed, and his mentality also burst. Can the evolutionary not be called something? 10 minutes later, Hilton couldn't stand the severe pain and torture, and passed out completely. Come on, tell me. Si fucking turned his head and pointed at the president of TNL Media. How did those artists die last year? The president was suddenly named and shivered. He didn't want to say such a thing at all. But Si fucking watched silently, but the president felt extremely frightened, and said bravely, they were all dealt with because they didn't listen to the company. Someone broke it out on the internet and got public relations. Si fucking was quite calm. What else? Also, and I can't remember who it was, she wanted to treat her father's illness, and came to ask the company to overdraft a salary first. The president recalled hard, she is good looking, and just happened to be hired by a man. The boss liked it, and I sent her over. She committed suicide because of the humiliation, and her father also. It was also a red wine bottle that exploded on his head, the blood obscured his vision, the pain in his heart, and his internal organs were mixed together, as if being pierced by Wang Jian. Si fucking threw the broken bottle of wine in her hand, and she got up. Shanglu. Shanglu immediately stood up straight. Yes. These two people, wait for me to broadcast them live online and send them to Qinjunmen. Si fucking pointed to the president and manager Luo and smiled. I believe in your methods. Shanglu said in a deep voice, definitely. His heart was also tingling. If he hadn't heard it with his own ears, he couldn't believe it was something that a human could do. Those are all living lives? Go down first. Si fucking grabbed Hilton with one hand. Where are those people? Team Zhang is here and has already controlled all the auctions, and found a lot of antiques in it, ready to hand it over to the museum. Shanglu carried manager Luo and the president and followed him. Those boys and girls were frightened and are still there. Soothing. Si fucking sighed. I must ask a psychologist to clear their minds. I also left some money to help them support their families. If it is sent here like a cargo, everyone will collapse. All the lots were prepared in the basement, and now they have all been confiscated by the Qinjun League. A group of uniformed guards are patiently calming the panicked boys and girls. The president could recognize that he had spent a lot of money to get these to please the other big bosses. But now he just wants to save his life. How did things get like this? Manager Luo was close enough to see the logos on the right cuffs of several guards. That's 1,000. The word 1,000 was made into the appearance of a sword, which was extremely sharp. 1,000 Army Alliance. People in the Western continent didn't recognize this sign. Manager Luo was born and raised in Daxia, so how could he not be aware of the existence of the Qinjun League? Manager Luo's legs went weak and fell to the ground, completely losing the idea of running away. He hasn't found enough money yet, and he has been very cautious, so why is he being targeted by the people of the Qinjun League? Moreover, the Qinjun League is clearly in Sijukan, so how could it be possible to manage the affairs of Yuchen, which is thousands of miles away? Manager Luo didn't even know how these guards got in. Obviously, every entrance is guarded by security guards. Even if these security guards are not the opponents of Qinjun Alliance, it is impossible for them to remain silent. But in any case, when the Qinjun League came, they were completely finished. Who has read the history books, who does not know the status of Qinjun men in history? During the Great Xia dynasty, Emperor Yin left a personal edict before his death. If there is a faint king in power, the Qinjun League has the dragon sparrow sword in hand, and it can be killed. Qinjun men also acted according to Emperor Yin's edict and maintained the millennium foundation of the Great Xia dynasty. Even the faint-hearted king dares to be executed. What does the Qinjun League dare not? Just when Manager Luo was terrified, Zhang Shuiyan walked towards Si fucking. He smiled, Miss Si, I'm really bothering you this time. If you hadn't sneaked in first, we wouldn't have come in so smoothly. How are you? It's good, but I didn't warm up enough. Si fucking asked, how is Auntie Mu's body? Madam is all well, too. Zhang Shuiyan nodded, Miss Si can come to Sijukan at any time when she is free. Madam misses you very much. Okay, I'm going to go next month. Si fucking responded, I will definitely contact Aunt Mu. Zhang Shuiyan smiled again, in this way, Madam will be very happy. The two talked very happily, but it was not difficult to see that Zhang Shuiyan respected Si fucking's attitude. Manager Luo's eyes widened for a moment, and his vision was frozen. Si fucking is actually related to the Qinjun League. So, in the sea tornado incident a month ago, the arrival of the Qinjun League was not a coincidence. Manager Luo now recalls the 3 words little star and only thinks it is a complete joke. What he thought was a coincidence, and what he thought Si fucking was lucky, was actually well prepared. Manager Luo cried and laughed, completely collapsed, unable to utter a sentence. You are not a little star, ha ha ha, You are not a little star. Qinjunmen, you belong to Qinjunmen. Zhang Shuiyan narrowed his eyes. I'm a little star. Si fucking turned his head, lazily. Didn't I say, I really like acting. Not to mention one identity, she can perform in 100. In the face of life and death and the duty of faith, acting is nothing. Manager Luo suddenly shouted, and he grabbed his head, I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I don't believe it dash. He was roaring wildly, already insane. This time, without Si fucking opening his mouth, Shang Lu directly tapped Manager Luo's dumb point, Miss Si, he is so noisy that it hits your ears. Zhang Shuiyan glanced at Shang Lu, and then looked at Hilton who had passed out, Miss Si, what should I do with this person? He's from the Western continent, you can't interfere. Si fucking said lightly, I'll come in person. Zhang Shuiyan nodded lightly, okay, I'll send these people away first. This time, outside. After receiving Yu Xian's order, Zero's investigator quickly began to act. With their skills, the personnel who escorted the prohibited goods were naturally unable to resist. He didn't even react, and was directly subdued. Very good, the officer patted his team members on the shoulders, send the goods back and destroy them. The young man nodded and was about to load all the goods into the car. Boom. Suddenly, gunshots rang out. It was muted, but the sound was still noticeable. The young man rolled on the ground, dodged in time, and drew out his gun, looking for death. In the darkness, a group of people approached. And when the lights came on, at the first sight of each other, invariably, the word hum appeared in capital letters in both sides' hearts. On the side of T18, the blonde youth took a deep breath, why are you all again? Commander, shouldn't I say this? Although they had already made preparations for the T18 bar, after all, they were also following the T18 this time. But who would have thought that they would bump into the same group of people every time? Okay, follow us again, the blonde young man sneered, why don't you check it yourself? The commander took it for granted, what else can we check with you guys? Okay, there's something, the blonde young man nodded, if it wasn't for the above saying that it's best not to see blood this time, I'd have to arrest you today. The commander said coldly, it's a coincidence that I was also instructed to do so this time. The leaders of the two parties looked at each other and began to settle accounts. You are 2 and I are 8. Why don't you go grab it? We'll come first, you are 3 and I are 7. Do you want to follow us? In this way, you are 4 and I are 6. No, 5 or 5 points, I can't go back. The cargo was eventually divided into 2 halves and carried away by both parties. After the blonde young man reported to Yuejian turned on some headsets. The man's voice was low, hello. Half the goods were robbed for you, Yujian said, you also know that Zero is not easy to mess with, and I have no intention of conflicting with them. After all, I am a weak countess. Man. After a few seconds, he slowly said, you can play. I'm serious. Yujian took off his high heels and held them in his hands, they also spoke up this time, and I don't want to touch their chief. Oh, the man became more interested, I remember you met with their chief. Well, wearing a mask, I don't know what it looks like, Yumi recalled, but the momentum is very strong. The man paused, it's rare that you can say these words. In addition to the little sister, there is only the master. Now there's more, Chief Zero. When Yumi was about to say something, there was a sizzling voice over there. Apparently the current is disturbed by something. Another eavesdropping device. Yujian was also annoyed, that's it, hang up, don't contact me, I don't want to be eavesdropped. Call ended. She looked around and entered the clubhouse again. Here. Si fucking threw Hilton to Shanglu and asked him to take it back, and he went back to the banquet. A few leaders have been dealt with, as well as some other minions. This time, TNL media will be completely unable to get up. Si fucking jumped off the balcony and walked around the corridor. Suddenly, she stopped. Oncoming was a woman in a court dress. Very beautiful, like a rose in the dark night. Si fucking lowered his head slightly, clenched his fingers indiscernibly, and moved his eyelashes slightly. She confirmed that T18 would definitely send someone, but she did not expect that her third senior sister would go there in person. The Night Maiko is good at disguise, but most of the time she actually uses her own face. Moon is beautiful in person. It's just that this beauty is like poison in honey, and it will die if you touch it. It was in this situation that they met. For her, it may have been less than a year, but for Yuemi, it was 3 years. It's like an eternity. Si fucking nodded towards Yujian, very generous and without covering up. She was not afraid that Yujian would recognize her. Not to mention that she changed her face, even if it was her previous appearance, Yujian couldn't recognize her. After all, her third senior sister has a very serious face blindness. She once watched many handsome and romantic young people find her third senior sister, but she was asked, "Who are you?" very seriously by Yujian. Yujian also stopped, the smile in his eyes narrowed little by little, and he stared at the girl closely. A very unfamiliar face she had never seen before. She does have severe face blindness, and can't recognize a few people. Even the second child and the big brother, she recognizes them based on other characteristics. But Tsukimi's brows gradually wrinkled, feeling his brain heating up. The abilities that belonged to the evolutionary erupted naturally at this moment. She looked at the girl, startled for the first time. There are more noises in my mind, and for the first time, I feel like the world is spinning. The energy in the body also showed signs of rioting. Yujian groaned, leaned against the wall, and squatted down in pain. Si fucking's expression changed slightly. She had never seen Yumi look like this before. After a pause, Si fucking finally chose to turn back. She squatted down and supported Yuemi's shoulder. "Madam, are you all right?" Crack. The next second, her wrist was caught. The strength of the moon is very strong. In an instant, a blue mark was left on her wrist bone. Si fucking's expression did not change, and he whispered, "Madam, do you need to go to the hospital? I'll call you 120. She knows that her third senior sister's evolutionary level is not very stable, usually transcendent a grade. But sometimes it explodes, and it can even reach S level. S-class evolutionaries can no longer be called humans because their genetic evolution has reached a terrifying level. This is the most powerful evolutionary. They have unlimited potential and are almost immortal. But at the same time, the S-class evolutionary is also the most dangerous existence. If the A-level evolutionary energy riot is defined as a disaster, S-class evolutionary is destruction. In particular, Yuemi is still an evolutionary of the spiritual system, and the destruction intensity is higher. Must get out of here as soon as possible. Si fucking didn't care about the pain in her wrist. She carried Yuezi on her back and left the clubhouse as quickly as possible. After turning a few streets, the two came to an abandoned parking lot. Si fucking put Yuejian down and frowned. It was not until the last time she encountered the sea dragon that she discovered that her evolutionary ability was still there. It's just that it's still very weak, and it can't reach the level of runaway. The evolutionary people in the world who can perfectly restrain their energy can be counted in one slap. Her master is one of them. So she naturally learned the same method. Except for Yuzian, no one knew that she was an evolver. "Madam, calm down." Si fucking reassured Yujian, "Calm down, okay." After a few minutes, Yujian finally calmed down. Her face was still pale, but her hands were gripping tighter. She stared at Si fucking and said slowly, "Xiaoju." The new month begins with the recognition and continues in the afternoon. It's the beginning of the month. I strongly seek to guarantee the monthly pass at the end of the month. Not far from the previous one, lined up for the third sister. Speaking of which, the title of this book at the beginning I was thinking of was After I Die, I Was Targeted by the Beautiful and Strong Male Protagonist. Ching ching, you are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. After having everything taken away, she returns as a god. Author, Ching Chien. Chapter 233. The sound was completely unexpected. Sci-fi's pupils shrank suddenly, and his eyes changed instantly. But her face was still calm. Madam. Xiaoju Yujian frowned tightly. She couldn't understand it at all, and her tone became excited. You are Xiaoju, but aren't you dead? How could you? What is this? What's going on? Sci didn't speak this time. In fact, Yumi suddenly called her that, and she herself was in a mess. Different ages, different identities, and no similarities in her face. She didn't show any abnormal behavior. How did her third senior sister recognize her? Just happened to cheat her? How did you think I recognized you? I didn't expect it either. I really couldn't believe it at first. Yumi saw what she was thinking, pointed to her temple, and said in a low voice, You forgot. Now, my ability is telepathy. I recognize people without seeing, and I will not mistake you. Sci let out a breath slowly, suddenly smiled, and his tone became more relaxed. After all, third senior sister, you are face blind, and you have hurt the hearts of many young people. This statement amounts to an indirect acknowledgement. Tsukamami is a spiritual evolutionary, with powerful telepathy and spiritual energy. It can even invade other people's brains. Yujian can recognize her, but also by virtue of the ability of the evolutionary. After all, she is dead, but her soul and consciousness have not changed. So she can still log in eternal as her original identity. Xiaoju, Yujian was incoherent for the first time. What the hell is going on? 3 years ago, there was an accident in the little sister's laboratory, and an explosion directly destroyed the entire experimental base. Freeland is in chaos. When she rushed over, she didn't even see the corpse, only the wreckage and ashes, and it was pitch black. But now, their little junior sister is standing in front of her so well. Even though Tsukimi has the ability to telepathically, she can't understand this. I'm dead, I can feel it. Sci clenched his fingers and lowered his voice, but the next second I regain consciousness, and it will be 3 years after I open my eyes again. Simply put, it's borrowing the corpse to bring back the soul. Yujian took a breath, and his fingers trembled. There is such a thing. There are so many supernatural things, many of which cannot be answered by existing information. But no matter what the reason, the little sister is still there. That's fine. Xiaoju, tell me carefully, you really died because of the explosion in the experiment? Yujian gradually calmed down and looked serious. You were the only one in the laboratory at that time. It's just me. Slowly, I also thought at first that it might really be that I drank too much coke and killed myself. Later, I found out that there might be other reasons, but I didn't find anything abnormal. Yujian nodded slowly, and murderous intent appeared in his eyes. The second child thinks so too. He has never given up on the investigation in the past 3 years. Second senior brother, he. Sci paused and said lightly, so I'm still thinking, the division is not clean. These 5 words made Yujian go silent. The only people I can fully trust are you, the second senior and the senior. Sci said, if there is one more old sixth, his IQ will be the same. Yujian stretched his waist and tapped his chin with his fingers. Indeed, if I want to kill you, there are too many opportunities. Sci. She really shouldn't laugh at Xiaoyu's family's mother's kindness and filial piety. She and several senior brothers and sisters are also brothers and sisters, so it's not much better. Fortunately, I made a trip myself, Yumi murmured, otherwise I'll miss out with you, and I won't care about my second child ruining my vacation. Wait. If you can recognize me, third senior sister. Si's eyes suddenly changed, so can other evolutionaries recognize me? No, Yujian shook his head slightly. You think that a capable evolutionary at my level is a Chinese cabbage? Besides, I can recognize you because you once saved me, and my brain waves recorded you. Apart from the master, it is impossible for any other spiritual evolutionary person to recognize you. Where's the master? After you left, the master went into seclusion and never came out. Why did you only invade T18 now? Otherwise, we could meet earlier. Who would have thought that one person was the one who hacked into T18 and built the T18 firewall? Moon size. The intelligence team is really miserable. I don't want to bring danger to you, Si speaking of which, the first person I contacted should be Senior Brother 6. He said that he would take care of me when he was done with his work. I understand that His Royal Highness is dealing with all kinds of problems. I haven't seen anyone yet. Yujian was surprised, and laughed until he leaned back and forth. So the ghost he was talking about was you? Si said, ghost. Xiao Lu thought that my second son and I would introduce him to a blind date. Yujian smiled, let's find one ourselves first. He also wondered how his phone number was revealed because only a few of us knew it. Then the second child told me that Xiaoliu was too narcissistic, and that it was because you, little junior sister, still missed him in heaven after you died, so he passed his phone number to others with his mind. Si's expression was complicated, so I said that his brain is not very good. This is probably the reason why his sixth senior brother could not find a target. Well, you know the situation of the second child, the senior brother travels all over the world, and I haven't seen him for a long time, and I'm still the same. Yujian looked lazy. I can't remember other people's looks. What kind of love is there? Si shrugged, you are a scumbag. Compared with you, Ejian, she is nothing compared to the moon. Also, don't worry, Xiaju, there are not many people staring at me. Yujian's eyes became cold. I got rid of a few on the way. The second child is really miserable, and the senior brother is not much better. Go. Well, that's why I can't contact them, Si whispered, and my evolutionary ability has just recovered. Yujian touched her head and sighed, I can see that your ability has not even recovered to the B-level threshold, and you are back from the dead, let alone go back. Even if the Evolutionary Alliance knows about it, it will you grab it and do the experiment. Evolvers are not immortal. The Evolutionary Alliance is still researching ways to live forever. Once she knew that Si could be resurrected after 3 years of death, she would be arrested at all costs. Si sighed, after a while, I'm going to find a suitable time to contact second senior brother and the others. Then let the second child continue to check. Yujian flipped his hair, I've been free recently, so I'll stay by your side and protect you. By the way, what are you doing now? Introduce me to a job and let me pretend. Third senior sister Si pointed to the advertising screen on the distant high-rise building with a serious expression, actually, I am a star now, I can dance, sing, and act in some plays. Would you like to be my life assistant? Tsukishima. What is it? The other side. All prohibited items have been destroyed by the search team. Shenying stood aside and contacted Yuzian, frowning, ninth brother, we didn't find any trace of the Witch of the Night. Someone saw her entering the hall, but now she's gone. He paused, his voice difficult, there is no Miss Si at the banquet. They don't really meet by chance, right? Yuzian's eyes were deep and quiet, and her tone was very light, I'll pick her up. He hung up the phone, narrowed his eyes slightly, chose a position, and just raised his foot. A voice sounded. Boss. Yuzian froze and turned her head. The girl trotted over. In the dark night, her eyes were extremely bright, like stars. Boss, I fucking ran to Uzion and stopped. I chased someone away just now. I'm sorry, I didn't look at the phone, I made you worry. Uzion raised her hand. Have you met any strange people? No. I fucking clenched his fists. Let's go to have a late night snack. My stomach is screaming after I have eaten and worked well. Uzion raised her eyebrows slightly, and said, let's go, let Feng San and the others go first. Okay. I fucking nodded. Everyone is on the Shanglu side, just go directly. On her way to supper, she caught a glimpse of the sign of Team Zero. She was not surprised why 0 people appeared. After all, 0 and T18 are old and dead enemies, and they stare at each other. But just now, the third senior sister and her chief of 0 intervened in this operation, and she was still curious about what the chief was like. It's a pity that I have fought twice before, and I have not been able to know the true face of this chief. There is still time in the future, and it will be a long time to come. I fucking looked back. Boss, do you like spicy skewers? Let's go eat spicy skewers. Uzion glanced at her and said in a steady voice, it's alright, listen to you. I fucking praised him sincerely. Boss, you are so kind. Another day when good employees love their bosses. Qin Junmen's actions were extremely fast, and all the other Tianal media personnel involved were arrested. Zhang Changfeng finally arrived. After he received Su Yang's call, he immediately booked a flight and came here. Manager Luo was sedated. He was not so crazy, but his eyes were dull because of the huge blow. Zhang Changfeng's eyes were cold. Is that him? It's him. Shang Lu stepped forward and kicked Manager Luo. The call records were found on his mobile phone, and he also asked people to tie Miss Zhang. Zhang Changfeng slowly, unable to restrain the killing intent. Very good. He squatted down and stuffed something directly into Manager Luo's mouth. The next second, Manager Luo fell to the ground uncontrollably, twitched and started foaming at the mouth. Shang Lu was very curious. What's the matter with him? Well, the new medicine just developed by the Divine Doctor Alliance, Zhang Changfeng said indifferently. Try the medicine, I will record the reaction, and I will report back to the elders. Manager Luo was in excruciating pain, but his hearing was very clear. He heard Zhang Changfeng's words clearly, and was even more horrified. Even if Si fucking is not an ordinary person, why is he not even Zhang Changning? Aren't Zhang Changning's family farmers? Manager Luo now really wants to question the scout who signed him. Why didn't you dig up the backgrounds of Si fucking and Zhang Changning? If he knew that Zhang Changning's family was so difficult to mess with, he would not dare to attack Zhang Changning if he was given the courage. Zhang Changfeng let out a breath, called Si fucking, and pursed his lower lip. Miss Si, thank you for today's affairs. Thank you. Si fucking didn't care. When Ning Ning wakes up, you can teach her a little self-defense, how to make poison. Zhang Changfeng nodded, definitely. He didn't expect the entertainment industry to be so dangerous. After the call, Zhang Changfeng said to Shang Lu, I'm going to the hospital. You can ask me any medicine you need. Shang Lu nodded, okay, no problem. The next day, noon. After seeing Si fucking appear in the studio, Sang Yanking finally breathed a sigh of relief. Where have you been? I can't get through if I call you in the morning. It's a long story. Didn't I report safety last night? Si fucking blinked. By the way, Sister Sang, I made a big one. Don't be too big. Sang Yanking pressed his temple. I have a bad heart. You can go online and have a look. Si fucking took out his mobile phone, and then clicked on Weibo. Has Heezy again? Sang Yanking shook his head. It's not just Heezy, someone took a picture. Fortunately, you showed up in time. I'll clarify it directly. This is a revelation. Breaking news today, expose. Si fucking took 1.8 billion from Tianal Media. In fact, it was illegal transactions and the sale of gray items. Yesterday, 0HET18 dispatched and all the people involved have been arrested, and SI fucking was among them. Picture. Weibo was posted a few hours ago, and the comments below have passed 30,000. No wonder she didn't show up in the morning. She should have taken a makeup photo today, but she was caught. Legal coffee? Shouldn't it be blocked now? Thank you for your tickets, see you tomorrow. After having everything taken away, she returns as a god. Author, Ching Qian. Chapter 234. If you really do such a thing, the ban will be light, right? Gotta go straight in. Laughing to death, I want to see if SI fucking's fans dare to set up a disciplinary committee for her. I have never seen a house collapse so quickly. No wonder I want to terminate the contract. 1.8 billion, tisk tisk, even if I don't eat or drink since the great Zhao dynasty, I can't earn this money, and a star is a star. This money is still the contract termination fee offered by SI fucking. No wonder the contract is terminated. Isn't it just for the money? Saying something about exposing a company that sucks people's blood and alerting others is just a raccoon dog. At the very first moment when this revelation appeared, I asked the studio to issue a statement. Sang Yanking frowned, but you also know that the interests of the entertainment industry come first, and there are pictures, so I want to give you a kick. Especially at home. Among the big flowers, Tong Luyun and Xia Yuni have been friends for 7 or 8 years, and fans are still tearing it apart. Although Sang Yanking did not take Meng Shui's team seriously, she couldn't resist Meng Shui's fans who regarded SI fucking as Meng Shui's first family. So after this revelation came out, Meng Shui's fans quickly drove into the water in a trumpet and put on a vest. While mocking, they started a lottery in the super chat, and they celebrated happily. Sang Yanking's eyes were vicious, and she could tell no matter how Meng Shui's fans opened the trumpet account. She pointed to a comment with 13,000 likes, "Look, your former female team leader really understood the fandom." When Sang Yanking promoted stars, the internet was not as developed as it is now, and there was no fan circle. She hated this kind of behavior of pulling and stepping on each other. At the Madman Who Loves Ice Cream, the photos are here. Last night was supposed to be a banquet of TNL media, but now it has been suspended. SI fucking has not been seen all morning. You tell me if this is not true. Why don't you come out and clarify? It turned out to be in, he. SI fucking said lazily after reading it, "Don't worry, Sister Sang, I'll clarify it myself." Yes, Sang Yanking nodded, "I'll book a flight ticket for you. The day after tomorrow, I will go to Sijukan to record Looking for the Orphan. The Lee family will be present, so be careful in everything." Sang Yanking is also very optimistic about the New Year movie Looking for the Orphan next year. Yuen Heping is also a veteran actor. Although the characters he introduced to SI fucking have few scenes, they are all high-profile plots. It can attract a large number of fans. Sang Yanking just finished booking the air ticket, and the phone beeped, which was the news sound of special concern. SI fucking was the only one who paid special attention to her Weibo. Sang Yanking was very pleased. Although SI fucking has no shadow all day and night, she is still an obedient little girl. She clicked in to take a look. Just a few seconds ago, SI fucking retweeted this Weibo. At V, your father is in / at the Madman Who Loves Ice Cream, the photo is placed here. Sang Yanking. She asked SI fucking to clarify, but did not let SI fucking be someone else's father. SI, who had been waiting for a long time, also became active. Wife is out? This style is the wife's right. Open your eyes and see, your father is here. The studio declares that you don't believe it, and you are still here to spread rumors about your father. Other netizens haven't clicked to see it yet. The ID of at Madman Who Loves Ice Cream has quickly sold out. With a ding sound, the second Weibo came out. SI fucking circled several marketing accounts. At V at Black Knight Silent V, Sister sang, sue them, come on, I am the one who supports you the most. Sang yanking. I thought that the appearance of Sister Sang would make a certain female star stand up, but she still lies in the place where she should be salted. Sister Sang, how can I put on an artist like you? What? Yu Jian glanced at the text of Weibo, just do it? Sang yanking returned to his senses in a trance, only to realize that Si fucking was following a tall woman. The figure is very good, but the face is ordinary, and it will never be found in the crowd. Who is this? My newly hired life assistant Si fucking said seriously, I met her at the banquet yesterday. Seeing her poor, I will give her a job. Sang yanking nodded, but didn't see anything unusual, just said, since you have found the assistant yourself, I will also match you with the driver, you are about to join director Tang's crew to film, and you can't lose to others. Already. The hotter Si fucking became, the more people stared at her, and the black fans would seize on a certain flaw. Even Yun Lan was ridiculed by keyboard warriors. No one is black when it comes to paste coffee. When Yu Jian heard this, she agreed, you must have a driver. I can drive by myself, Si fucking said, I have to pay an extra salary for a driver. Sister Sang, save some money. You act well for me. Sang yanking ignored her protest, don't drive, I have insurance on your hands, you can be careful with your hands. Yumi sat silently a little further away. Si fucking, why are you so far away from me? Yumi, I'm so far away from you, you should know why. Little junior sister's driving skills, that's something that even senior brother fears. She didn't want to die in Si fucking's car. She was fortunate enough to sit a few times, and she didn't want to sit again. You've changed Si fucking's side, you forgot who was driving you on the road before. If I knew that you were racing so fast that it would kill me. Yuji unwrapped his arms around his arms and didn't give in at all, I can't get into your car. Sang yanking came over and said, what kind of riddle are you playing? Ah, I'm saying, Sister Sang, I've got a big one. Si fucking drank a Coke, yesterday, T18 and 0 did come, and there were great transactions and contraband transportation, so TNL media was taken by me. It's over. Sang yanking. It's only been a few minutes, and she can't slow down. UTM attended a banquet and brought a leading company in the entertainment industry. There is no need for Sang yanking to doubt the truth of this sentence. She took a deep breath and pressed Si fucking's shoulder. I really have to ask now, why do you want to be in the entertainment industry? I'm telling the truth when I like acting, for other reasons. Si fucking smiled, many people are waiting for me. Sang yanking waved his hand, okay, it's enough to like acting. I still remember your goal. It's best to make my wish come true before I die. Yumi looked up, what goal? Si fucking silently compared his mouth, beyond yourself. Yumi shrugged, only you can do this kind of perverted thing. After a pause, she asked again, I'll ask T18 to clarify for you. Have you figured out the clarification? Think about it. Si fucking looked serious, I am a weak victim. Yu Jian, the second child should know that I was actually brought down by you. Sister Sang. At this time, the agent assistant came in, there are a bunch of entertainment reporters around our studio, asking to see Miss Si, and asking Miss Si to explain what she did last night, otherwise why didn't she show up in the morning? Let them get out. Sang yanking sneered, are you still asking? Who do they think they are? The chief of T18? It's fine all day long, hurry up and get out. Sang yanking's wrist has always been strong. The agent assistant immediately went out to chase people. There are indeed many entertainment reporters who rushed over very early, just waiting to get the first-hand news. After all, Si fucking's popularity has been extremely high these days, and everyone wants to rub off. They were clearly blocking the door, but they didn't see anyone from Si fucking. After eating the closed door, the faces of the entertainment reporters were not very good looking. I've never seen a variety show with such a big shelf. That's right, she's clearly trying to clarify for her, but she even told us to get out. Just wait, she won't be in the entertainment industry for long. There were several entertainment records that Meng Shui contacted. Without being able to photograph SI fucking, Meng Shui couldn't be sure whether SI fucking really came back safe and sound. On the side, Brother Joe said, Xiaoxiu, although SI fucking appeared in time, she broke the news first. Now it's easy to refute the rumors. This time she at least lost a lot of passers-by. Meng Shui pursed her lips slightly, but Brother Joe, you also said that TNL Media wants to make her disappear this time, how can she come back? Maybe something went wrong. Brother Joe didn't care. There are too many variables in this kind of thing, but in any case, this matter today has only pros and cons for you. Meng Shui smiled, it's really beneficial. I've picked up a new costume drama for you, Brother Joe said, to shoot with Lin Wansu. Your role in the drama Dragon Crossing is concentrated in the early stage, and you can leave after the filming. Meng Shui nodded. I don't know who the heroine of Dragon Crossing is. If it was Guz Hainan, she would be willing to be a slave temporarily. After all, Guz Hainan is the queen, so she can hone her acting skills in the process of facing off. Lin Wansu should also have a role in crossing the devil. Brother Joe said again, you will run in and run in at that time. The two were talking about their work when an exclamation suddenly sounded in front of them. Big news, I suspected that I was blind, but it turned out to be an official notice. It? TNL Media is down. Good guy, 6 years of selling contraband and killing 43 people, all these have been turned out. When Brother Joe heard it, he felt something was wrong. I'll go take a look. He walked over and found that these employees were watching a live broadcast around the computer. As an insider, Joe Ge naturally knows the president of TNL Media. It's just that on the live broadcast, the president's nose is blue and his face is swollen, and his hands are still in shackles. He doesn't look like a successful person at all. I'm sorry Daxia, I'm sorry for all the innocent artists. The president's voice was intermittent, I'm here to explain all my crimes. Then Brother Joe watched, the president burst into tears, and explained all the illegal things such as his great transactions. Brother Joe exclaimed, what's the situation? TNL Media is down, an employee said excitedly, it was yesterday's banquet, T18 and 0 did come, but the people who were caught were the top management of TNL Media, and now they are at the headquarters of TNL Media. Brother Joe took a deep breath, down. Except for Shengxing Entertainment, TNL Media, the #1 leading company in domestic entertainment, collapsed overnight. Yeah, the employee sighed, who would have thought it would come like this? Look, another employee exclaimed, damn it, SI fucking. The name made Meng Shui unable to restrain herself from stepping forward. This is a top Weibo, right at the top of the hot search list. The publisher is T18 official. At T18 in Daxia branch, we rescued a lot of people in last night's anti-evil operation. I am very grateful to Miss SI for her cooperation. She was not afraid of the evil people, but fought bravely. We have sent her back to the studio safely. We would like to express our thanks to Miss SI. The pennant will be delivered to Miss C's studio later. Netizens were stunned. Big reversal? Ganking SI fucking is not the person involved, but the victim. I just watched the live broadcast, and I can see what TNL Media wants to do to her. Just thinking about it, girls must protect themselves. Does the marketing account that spread rumors dare to make up a picture? See clearly, this is the official account of T18. Your father is also a disciplinary committee member in the entertainment industry. What character is established? Are you talking about this female star who just wants salted fish to lie down? We want to set up a person for her. Look at the Weibo she posted, except for publicity, it's a slap in the face. The marketing account and the sailors are completely quiet now. Meng Shui's fans didn't even dare to let go of their farts. Who would have thought that those two pictures were of SI fucking being rescued, not her being arrested? The mooses ran to SI fucking Swibo again and began to comfort her, telling her to take a good rest. Ninth brother, this T18 is not bad this time, and helped Miss SI to clarify. Feng San said, but they are too shameless. It was obviously ninth brother that you sent Miss SI back, and where did they save them? People, it is Miss SI who saves people. I have to say that the clarification of T18 is much stronger than Sang Yanking's press conference. The reason why it is difficult to refute rumors is that the spread is not enough. Yu Ziyan propped her chin and said lightly, let them have the next order. Feng San nodded, okay. He does have some sympathy for Zero. Give up the list to T18, it's better to kill them. But there is no way. Who made T18 help Miss SI with a crooked fight this time? Ninth brother, the Yu family just called and told you to go back. Feng San said again, I have already refused. Hearing this, Yu Ziyan raised her eyes and closed the book. She happened to be filming over there, so I'll drop by the way. Feng San, then I'll contact you again and say you're going again. How could he forget that Miss SI was going to make another movie? Here. In the studio. SI fucking recorded an audio, cut the number, and posted it on Weibo. What are you doing? Yuemi's hand played with her hair, you're still playing with voice change. Didn't I learn this from you? SI fucking rubbed his chin, at that time, I had nothing to do, so I added a dubbing club. You saw interest, then I'll play too. After SI fucking Swibo was posted, Shinayan Club immediately forwarded it. At V, welcome Xiaolu at Gilu back. Among the 6 elders of the Shinayan society, Gilu is the well-deserved number 1. Even though she has not been out for a long time, several of her works are still the existence of the gods. After this Weibo appeared, it caused a huge sensation. I wipe? Gilu god. Oh my god, I'm crazy to see the return of the great god in my lifetime. There is a new dubbing, brothers and sisters, go and listen. Still a familiar style. In 1 minute, the voice in the audio changed a full 8 lines. There are men and women, old and young. There are many great gods in the dubbing circle, but Gilu is the only one who can achieve this level. Gilu fans started a new round of rising. The following is to let her come out to dub. SI fucking also received a private chat from Ching Huan. Xiaolu, don't forget that you took my job, I have already sent you the lines. SI fucking returned an okay. She stretched her waist, let's go, third senior sister, I'll take you to eat something delicious. On the other side, in Sijukan, the crew of Looking for Orphans. UN Hepping recommended SI fucking to act, and the production team also accepted. As soon as today's news came out, they were also waiting for clarification, but they didn't expect the news that T18 was going to send the pennant. The production team is also relieved. We've been in touch, the director said. Their team will arrive the next afternoon. If everything goes well, we'll be able to finish shooting all the shots at night. She's never acted, so she's definitely not good at her lines. The producer frowned. This drama is invested by the Lee family, so it must not be perfunctory. The Lee family also wants to expand the dissemination of this film, and maybe there will be some clues from that year. But it's just a dead horse as a living horse, doctor. It has been 20 years, and the child has not been found. Seeing that Lee's father and son are becoming more and more decadent day by day, Lee's father is also in a hurry. Indeed, I heard that she entered director Tang's drama, so she must be able to pass the test, but she is from an idol, so her voice can't pass the test. The director thought for a while. When the time comes, let teacher Li Yulai come over and give it to her. Dub it. Li Yulai is a veteran of the Shinayan society, and it is still easy to dub SI fucking. After having everything taken away, she returns as a god. Author, Qing Qian. Chapter 235. Even Xia Ying recognized the assessment mechanism of Shenayang Club. In the beginning, it was a non-governmental organization of several dubbing enthusiasts, and now it has been professionally certified. Especially Qing Huan and Jinshang have their own popularity and traffic. Not to mention Gilu, who has reappeared in the arena, is recognized as the first in the dubbing industry. Therefore, the directors of film and television dramas are also very willing to use members of the Shenayang Society. Voice actors play an important role these days. Sometimes it's because the actor's own voice is not suitable for the role he plays. More often, it is because the actor's lines are too poor. In short, his acting skills are not good. Originally, the movie required the original voice of the actor, but there were exceptions. Li Yulai happened to have only a passerby character in this movie, so the director handed over the task of dubbing Sci-fi to her. After all, she is one of the original 6 elders of Shenayang Society. The crew is very sure of Li Yulai's line skills and emotional explosiveness. But being able to dub is one thing, and acting is another. Lu Li's face is not very photogenic, and there are also some problems with her manners. Li Yulai was originally a middle to upper looking person, but it can be called beautiful among passers-by. But once it is placed in the beauty and cloud entertainment circle, it will be nothing to everyone. Not to mention that under the big screen lens, it will magnify the imperfections of the face and facial features. This is why, although the stage of the traffic idol is very bursting, the originality is revealed as soon as the drama is filmed. Coupled with the acting skills and pulling the hips, the film and television drama filmed is simply the scene of an accident. But Sci-fi is an exception. How many face value analysis bloggers have specially analyzed her 3 quarts and 5 eyes? 360 degrees without dead ends, standard modeling face. To be precise, even a top-level precision game like Oracle couldn't make such a perfect face. No matter how dead the scene is, Sci-fi can hold it. Well, also, she's a little too beautiful. The producer took a breath. At that time, try to draw as ordinary as possible, and don't let the audience's attention focus on her face. The director asked a question, so, is it the heavy makeup that kills Matt like she used to? Producer: you don't have to. He found the best makeup artist in the show group and gave her this very arduous task. HandsomeMaleLead collapsed overnight, and all its assets were liquidated. After the evil deeds broke out, the whole network exploded. HandsomeMaleLead is too disgusting. Doesn't it take the lives of ordinary people as fate? Rubbish. It was obviously killed by you, but it was said to be suicide. If it hadn't been squatted by T18 and Zero this time, I still don't know when I would be happy. Of course, what attracted the most attention from netizens was the fact that T18 gave Sci-fi a pennant. Kneeling and begging Sci-fi to stay in the entertainment industry all the time, even if she is just a vase, as long as she is there, all the cancers in the entertainment industry can be eliminated. I also knelt down. The disciplinary committee really lives up to its reputation, sweeping wherever I go. It's absolutely amazing. The mooses have become accustomed to Sci-fi being a coy and a member of the entertainment industry, but it is not the daily life of a female star. In the super chat, a station sister sent a message. Report from the front: tomorrow Ching Ching Baby will go to the filming crew of Sijukan looking for orphans. Although there are not many scenes, it is very important I have my camera ready and act at any time. I am in Sijukan. I'm ready to meet Ching Ching. Sisters, I heard that my wife is very fond of fans, and she carries a signed photo with you. You must seize the opportunity. Early the next morning, Sci-fi packed all the luggage. Because she decided to go to Bizhu and live with Nian Ting Chu, the final location of the studio was also set in Ankan, Bizhu. The door was knocked at this moment. Sci-fi picked up the suitcase and turned around. Boss. Uzian snorted and took out a bank card. Your bonus is all in here. Sci-Fi's contribution to eradicating such a big hazard of TNL media is indeed great. This card is a bonus from the Kinjun League and other relevant departments to Sci-Fi. Is there a bonus? Sci-Fi blinked, that's just right, I'll go get some more gold bricks. Recently, her money is really tight. In addition to buying a house and a car for the beginning of the year, setting up a studio and hiring people is a lot of money. She donated the rest to the foundation. A certain pixie has already complained deeply. Uzian took 2 steps forward, T18 only gave you a pennant. That's right, really Sci scolded his family without any hesitation, the chief of T18 is a miser. She reached for the bank card. But didn't get it? Looking at Uzian holding up the bank card, Sci said. She felt that she needed to get to know Uzian again. Sci looked at him, didn't you tell me? How can you bully people? Uzian raised her eyebrows and said in a slow and unhurried tone, reciprocity. Recalling Sci who thought that Uzian couldn't stand up and deliberately raised the coffee cup high. She jumped up, grabbed the bank card in his hand, stuffed it into her pocket, and jumped back 2 steps before speaking, black-hearted monster, big liar. Uzian didn't step forward, but withdrew her hand and smiled calmly, what? Ah, the plane is coming. Sci put the sun hat on his head and put on his sunglasses. Boss, I'm leaving, you can drink the tea left for you, it's good for your kidneys. Goodbye. The driver outside had already pulled over the nanny car. Sci opened the door and turned back. The man sat back in the wheelchair, still in a meticulous dark gray suit. He quietly looked into the distance, with flowers falling beside him. When he met her gaze, a shimmer floated in his light amber pupils. His smile seemed to be the same as the breeze, more gentle. Even after seeing her senior brothers and masters many times before, Sci had to admit that Uzian's face really hit all her points perfectly. Otherwise, she would have lost her temper already. Ujian also glanced sideways, still curious, this is your big money master. It's big. Sci took out the bank card just now and took a look, and then took Xiaobai out of the bag. I rely on the boss to keep this thing. Tisk tisk. Ujian touched Xiaobai's head, who would have thought that you, the Pixiu, which is the envy of Liberty Continent, would turn into a puppy after losing its strength. Xiaobai rolled around comfortably. It just likes big beauties. Sci was expressionless, I eat like a pig, it doesn't grow at all. You are the only one in the world, and there may be other spirit beasts, but it is true that not everyone likes to eat gold. Ujian pinched Xiaobai's ears and thoughtfully, but then again, your boss is it's pretty good looking. Sci narrowed his eyes, can you face blindness remember his face? She is so cute and beautiful, her 3 senior sisters can't remember. How can she remember her boss? So I've already forgotten what he looks like. Ujian was not ashamed at all, I just remember that he is very good looking, just like the master, I have a high evaluation, right? Sci whoever will be your partner will be bad luck in the future. Don't. Ujian stretched, it's good to be single, I can watch all kinds of handsome guys, it's not bad to follow you in the entertainment industry. After a pause, she asked, is Sci your real name? Sci was startled, yes. Ujian smiled, I won the second one again. I think how much he wanted to know your real name back then. As a result, your name is now floating all over the Xia Empire. As he was talking, there was a huge advertising screen in front of him, playing RM's promotional video. Ujian said to himself, I'll record it first, then I will mock the second child. At noon, the plane arrived at Sijukan International Airport. Ching ching, Yu Tang ran to pick up the plane. Wow, I heard ninth uncle say that you are coming to Sijukan, I still can't believe it. Yu Tang was sent back by Uzian a few days ago. Xiata started the military training for new students in mid-August, and was led by Sci to exercise for a while. Yu Tang drifted to the point where she felt that she was already capable of competing with the instructors. Well, come to film. I fucking patted Yu Tang's head. I will also visit you during your military training. Okay, okay. Yu Tang was very satisfied. Ching ching, did you know that you have a prototype for this looking for the orphan? I fucking nodded. Well, I know, the case of the Li family. I know Uncle Li, and he hugged me when I was a kid. Yu Tang sighed. It was fine, but if the child is lost, the descendants will grow old, and the wife will run away, and a good family is just like that. The powerful Li family haven't been found for so long. I fucking frowned. That's quite strange. According to my years of experience, it should be done by the family. Whoever makes the most profit is who? Who said it wasn't? Yu Tang shook her head. Grandpa Li also checked for a long time, but nothing abnormal has been found. Second, Master Li also has a good relationship with Uncle Li, and there was an alibi at that time. Yes, I fucking thought for a while. I'll go to the crew first and have a look at it then. Yu Tang's eyes lit up. I'll go with you. I fucking raised his eyebrows. Aren't you afraid that your ninth uncle will arrest you? Don't be afraid. Yu Tang patted her chest. You are there. I will hide behind you if something goes wrong. I think we might end up on the street together if something goes wrong. Today's boss even wanted to hack her money. Impossible. Right, and I only know what my third brother has been doing with me all this time. Yu Tang lowered her voice. He wants to find God 9, but I won't tell him. I'm mad he let him despise you so much back then. Tell unrelated people what to do. I fucking nodded and asked again, who is your third brother? Yu Tang. Yuemi sighed and lifted the suitcase. You should also have prosopagnosia. The driver drove the babysitter to the crew. Because the main scenes have been filmed, except for the heroine, the other actors have already been finished. The heroine is played by a veteran actress. This year, he is over 50 years old, but he is very well maintained. He looks like he is only in his early 30s, and his temperament is also excellent. Mr. S.I., hello, the assistant director came over. I ask you to do your makeup here, because our film is a market scene, and your character has been living outside the wealthy family since childhood, so you look good. I fucking made an okay gesture. I understand, beauty is also a sin. Assistant director. You don't have to know that. I brought a makeup artist. I fucking pointed behind him. I'm used to her putting makeup on me, right? It's absolutely fine. The assistant director was taken aback. Bring a makeup artist. His eyes fell on Yu Jian, and he looked at it. Okay, this is the dressing room. Teacher I can just go in directly. I fucking took Yu Jian into the dressing room. Yuemi looked at her face. To be honest, it's really not easy to draw your face in a normal way. Third senior sister, you are the most powerful. I fucking folded his hands together. Your disguising skills are so high that you are comparable to that shapeshifter. Is there anything else in this world that you can't do? Yu Jian has a headache. Come on. Who can refuse the coquettishness of the little junior sister? Here. Li Yulai is still in another crew and is directing other voice actors. Mr. Li Yulai, the on-site coordinator, invited her to come over. The recording is about to start, and the director needs you to watch it on the spot. Li Yulai got up. I'll come here. She thought about it for a while, and then reported it to the small group of veterans of the Shinayan Society. Lu Li, I took a new job today. I fucking, do you know? I'm going to dub her in a moment. But to be honest, these non-professional traffic idols have nothing to do with acting. How good it is to sing and dance in peace. Lu Li, the current star lines are really bad. Just a while ago, that Lin Wansu, she couldn't memorize the words, she could only read numbers. After Li Yulai sent these two sentences, she didn't expect the president and the others to reply. She is going to enter the entertainment industry, and she is no longer with them. Gila can't compare. Who knows, She directly blew the other members out this time. Ching Huan? Brilliant : President. Big Black. Who do you say you're going to voice for? See you tomorrow. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. After having everything taken away, she returns as a god. Author, Ching Qian. Chapter 236. Lucy frowned. Why such a big reaction? As she walked, she replied 2 more sentences. Luli, what are you doing in such a sudden shock? Isn't it well known that these traffic idols have poor acting skills? You don't know that Lin Wansu is called Miss Numbers, right? Luli, Lin Wansu is like this, let alone SI fucking. After all, Lin Wansu has a teacher hired by their team to teach her, but SI fucking doesn't. Isn't it normal for me to dub her? Although she is still in charge of the dubbing work, she has already stepped into the entertainment industry halfway. The entertainment industry is indeed a good place to make money. In just 2 years, she earned more than 10 times as much as her previous dubbing. But it was a pity for Liuli that she refused the last time Gilu suddenly appeared in need of help. Who would have thought that it would be to help Xiaoyu's team? If she can appear on the stage of youth, her later development will definitely be better than Qing Huan and Jin's Hang. Such a good opportunity to enter the circle was placed in front of Qing Huan and Jin's Hang, but they did not cherish it at all. Duh hey, it's normal, it couldn't be more normal, it's normal to dub SI fucking. Qing Huan, there is nothing to say, I wish you good luck and smooth work. The brocade said few words, and made another full stop. The president was too lazy to return. Looking at Qing Huan's reply, Liuli snorted lightly. It's okay, yin and yang are weird. Of course her work will go well. When Liuli came to the studio, SI fucking hadn't arrived yet. Mr. Liuli, the director, nodded towards her. I'll ask you to dub it today. Are you familiar with this part? It's very familiar, this is my job. Liuli smiled and asked, intentionally or unintentionally, is Mr. SI here yet? The entertainment circle calling each other a teacher is just a polite statement. Of course, she can't really regard SI fucking as a teacher. What about Daxia Shinyan, don't you need her help in dubbing? Mr. C's makeup is more important. The director sighed, it looks so good looking, it's hard for a makeup artist. The two were talking when a voice sounded. I'm coming. Teacher SI is here. The director couldn't wait to turn his head and was stunned. It's still the same face, and it's beautiful, but it's really quite ordinary. It's no longer a stunning look, but a durable look. But upon closer inspection, she found that her facial features had not changed in any way. But abruptly, it was turned into ordinary by the makeup artist. The director was stunned for a long time before returning to his senses, and patted the makeup artist on the shoulder vigorously. Awesome, Xiaozhou, your makeup skills have improved a lot. Xiaozhou coughed awkwardly, Director, I didn't draw it. Teacher SI brought a makeup artist himself. Bring your own, the director was surprised, didn't Mr. SI only bring an assistant? Xiaozhou nodded, almighty assistant, also a makeup artist. The director understands. There are indeed many artist assistants who hold multiple jobs. Makeup is actually a basic skill. But it was the first time he had seen someone with such high makeup skills as assistant SI fucking. The director was thinking about digging the wall. Mr. SI, there are a few scenes where you are in the crowd and you don't have any lines. The director gestured to the camera crew, let's shoot this first. SI fucking sorted out the costumes, no problem. The next shooting was smoother than the director imagined. He originally thought it would take several shots, but SI fucking did it again, and even the angle of his head was the same as what the director had in mind. Plus SI fucking's face is very suitable for the big screen. After being magnified by the lens, not only there are no flaws, but it is perfect. This is exactly what a film director needs. The producer nodded and breathed a sigh of relief. The little girl has a lot of spirit, no wonder Yuan Yingdi would recommend her, and if you polish it well, it's a good thing. No wonder it caught Tang Haiqiu's eyes. Okay, teacher Si, take a break. The director clapped his hands and smiled. You will play with Tao Yinghao later. Si fucking hummed and went to the resting place. Yu Jian raised her eyebrows and handed her a bottle of water. Is it so difficult? Your palms are sweating. Difficult. Si fucking took it and took a sip. I'll have a good meal later. It's hard for her to keep it. She has already made a director's heart go bad, and she doesn't want to scare another director anymore. Lu Li heard it from the side, and the corner of her mouth tickled slightly, a little more sarcasm. I find it difficult to take a scene without a line. After a while, I have a line and I have to play with the actress. What should I do? 10 minutes later, the on-site coordinator brought Tao Yunkai over. Before Si fucking finished drinking the water. Relax, little girl. Tao Yungzi patted her on the shoulder. Don't be nervous about the scene. If it's wrong, we'll reshoot it. You're new to film and television, so don't put too much burden on your heart. Si fucking blinked. Thank you, teacher Tao. The director held a loudspeaker. Come on, the last scene, the emotional focus of the scene is on Tao Yinghao's side. Tao Yinghao has been looking for her daughter for 20 years to find it. Teacher Si, you can just hold on to those emotional points. Let's begin. The camera moved, and the shooting officially began. As we all know, to be an actor and actress, his acting skills are extremely high, not to mention that Tao Yunkai is still an old actor. Even the producers were worried about whether Si fucking would be able to take part in the drama. If not connected, the comparison will be tragic. Li Yulai sat next to the director, ready to dub for a while. It's a play in the rain. The heroine finds an orphan girl who is about to throw herself into the sea by the sea. She knew that her children had suffered so much that they could not survive. She must find her child. It was raining heavily by the sea. The girl is standing in the rain, facing the sea. The rain fell drop by drop down her hair, and she was soaked and pale. Hearing someone calling her, she turned around. The eyes are blank, the eyes are dull, and there is no vitality. However, after listening to Tao Yunkai's words, suddenly, like the clouds and the sun, the gray of death gradually dissipated, and the fresh vigor of a young man was revived, and his eyes were astonishingly bright. Emotions progressed layer by layer, reaching a peak before opening. After 1,000 turns, she finally called out this unfamiliar title, Mom, Mom. Those two words made Tao Yunkai suddenly feel like his fingertips were being electrified. This was the only reaction she and top actors had to the audition. She has been making movies for many years, and crying scenes naturally come easily. But this time, she was completely called to tears by the words Si fucking. It was as if she had really been looking for a child for a long time, and after a lot of hard work, she finally met. She couldn't watch her child die like this. Everyone is also immersed in this mother-daughter reunion. I don't know how long it took, the director said, card. When he shouted Ka, everyone came back to their senses, and it was inevitable that they were relieved. Fortunately, the director called the card. If he didn't call the card and let Si fucking pass it, it would be abnormal. Very good, you have a good grasp of these emotions. The director was very satisfied. The lines are also very good, but Tao Ying took a step back just now, and the scene is out. Let's reshoot it. When this sentence came out, the whole audience was shocked. Wait, it wasn't Si fucking who got stuck, but Tao Yunkai, the actress? The director stared at Si fucking and became suspicious. But is the voice you used when you acted just now different from your usual time? Because the orphan girl in Looking for Orphans has been living in the market since childhood, wandering all the way, her throat is very damaged. Sci-fucking's voice is very nice. The Bad of the Mountain Ghosts she sang was intercepted as a single short video, and the playback volume has exceeded 4 million. The director was just afraid that her original voice would be inappropriate. For example, if an actor with a baby voice plays the role of Yuja, the audience will always play. Sci-fucking calmed down and didn't blush at all. I'm stuck in my throat. Director, okay, let's do it again and call it a day. The play is good, but his heart is not good. He needs to ask UN Hepping to take him to the hospital. It was originally expected to shoot until 6 o'clock, and at 4 o'clock all the scenes were completely over. The crew cheered. Eat and eat. It's still better for our crew, and we can have 2 finalizing banquets. Tao Yunkai took a deep look at Sci-fucking, you were born to act. Only she who played against Sci-fucking knew that in the filming just now, her emotions were completely carried away by Sci-fucking. It's not that Sci-fucking couldn't catch her play, but that she almost missed the play of her boss. Sci-fucking smiled and shook hands with her. Teacher Tao praises me so much, I will float. If you have strength, it's not called floating. Those without strength will sell a lot every day. What the entertainment industry lacks is an actor like you, Tao Yungzi said. I hope to work with you more in the future. Sci-fucking nodded and smiled. There will be a chance. Here. Mr. Li Yulai, you've worked so hard today. Teacher C's original voice performance has reached my standard. The director thanked him repeatedly. There will be a banquet later, let's eat together. Lu Li's smile was reluctant. Okay, no trouble, if the director has anything to do in the future, just call me directly. The group went to the hotel next door for dinner. Lu Li pursed her lips, in a very bad mood. It is undeniable that Sci-fucking still has 2 brushes to catch Tao Yunkai's play. Throat. Cussy fucking figured it out. Li Yulai knew that Sci-fucking was very popular recently. Among the popular female idols, even Meng Shui, who was originally the most popular, was overwhelmed by Sci-fucking. She originally wanted to take this opportunity to publicize it well. She is the voice of Sci-fucking, and then attracts some fans. Who knew there was no use for her at all? The crew next door also ate here in the evening. A young dubbing actor knew Li Yulai and said, hello, Sister Li Yulai, today's dubbing is completed. You are really amazing, any star can be matched. It doesn't match, as long as the original sound is decent enough to watch, the director doesn't need to dub it. This time, it's just Sci-fucking who made a mistake, and she doesn't have many lines. Lu Li is neither salty nor bland. If you change to another role later, you must also use dubbing. You said that her fans need to know that she has to be dubbed when she acts, and will they continue to follow her? The dubbing actor shook his head. Hey, aren't all TV dramas now dubbed? How many of them use the original sound? Fans don't care about that at all. Lucy bit her lip. Indeed. Especially the fans of Traffic Stars, they are crazy like crazy. She washed her hands and left the bathroom. He was talking and laughing with the dubbing actor, and met Sci-fucking who had already removed his makeup. This is the first time Lu Li has seen Sci-fucking's true face. The face of Daxia is well deserved. Both of them called out Teacher Si. Lu Li clenched her hands tightly and was about to leave. She knew that she and the stars had good looks, and she didn't want to be Sci-fucking's foil. By the way, if you have something to say in the future, don't say it behind your back. Sci-fucking threw the coke can in his hand. I have eyes and ears, so I can hear and see. Li Yulai stopped abruptly, and she turned around in amazement. Was Sci-fu heard what you said just now? Sci-fucking's fox eyes were bent, and his eyes were calm, as if his eyes were straight to the heart. Lu Li's face turned red all of a sudden. Si, Teacher Si, I didn't mean that, I. Boom. Coke cans flew into the trash can behind her. Sci-fu poured into a cubicle in the bathroom and just received a call from Dahe. De Hay's tone was excited. I'm really convinced. Luli actually said she wanted to W. Did she really W? No, the original voice I fucking lazily said. Don't pay attention to her. We didn't tell her your identity, otherwise, with her current style, maybe she can make some shit. De Hay shook his head. She entered the entertainment industry to earn more money, and after she entered I look down on us, and think we are jealous of her and dislike her friendship with celebrities. Qin Ching Huan and Jinchang's appearance, where will lose stars? Well, don't tell me Si fucking's expression was light. I'm not a fellow. It's long gone, De Hay said. If it wasn't for the sake of us forming the Shenyang Club together before, I would have kicked her out of the group. After the call ended, Si fucking went to find Yu Tang. Although Yu Tang is a member of the Yu family, she has never appeared in public, and the director and producer do not know her. But she looks cute, and the director also specifically asked if she wanted to enter the entertainment industry. Director, don't yell at others. Si fucking pulled Yu Tang behind him. My sister is going to go to Xia University, a future scientist. Xiada? It's amazing. The director was surprised. Indeed, you are a future scientist, so don't act anymore. The producer and Li's elder son Li Yaji are friends. He got up and said, you guys eat first. I'll contact Mr. Li to see when I have time to send the film to him first. After the producer left, the director sighed, what a pity. Si fucking lowered his voice. Tang Tang, has the Li family ever done a DNA library comparison? That's right. Yu Tang pursed her lips. I haven't found it, so Uncle Li is even more decadent. After all, there is nothing in the DNA bank, so it is very likely that he was abducted into the deep mountains. This kind of thing has always been a lot. Especially children and girls. Some villages even commit crimes together. Once inside, there is no way to escape. The Li family has 5 rooms. Yu Tang snapped her fingers. Second Master Li has 3 sons and a daughter, the eldest son Li Yinshan. After listening, Si fucking said slowly, I can't get along in your wealthy family. Yu Tang, but they are not as smart or beautiful as you. Si fucking, because these people made me suffer from severe facial blindness and amnesia. Yu Tang. Who said it wasn't? Early the next morning. Link Hung, Zhuojia. Zhou Xianyu came down from the upstairs, and now it was blue and black. Zhou Tianfen was reading the newspaper at the dining table. When he raised his head and saw her like this, he couldn't help frowning. Are you not feeling well? No, Zhou Xianyu twitched the corners of his mouth. I had a nightmare last night and had some heart palpitations. Zhou Tianfen nodded. If you can't sleep well, go to the doctor to prescribe some medicine. Zhou Xianyu squeezed the cup tightly and didn't answer. She didn't lie about having a nightmare last night. She did have a nightmare. She dreamed that someone was pinching her neck and asked her to return everything back. When she woke up in the morning, she read a book routinely, and for the first time Zhou Xianyu was so frightened that she couldn't understand anything this time. It was as if her business flair had vanished completely overnight. What happened to the left family? What happened to her? But so far, no one can answer her at all. Dad. Zhou Xianyu pursed her lips and hesitated. Are you and Mom doing well recently? It's all right. Zhou Tianfen was surprised. What can we do wrong? Zhou Xianyu frowned. Could it be that such a strange thing happened to her alone? By the way, Mr. Feng is looking for you. Zhou Tianfeng said. Go to the company. Zhou Xianyu hesitated for a while, but went out with the bag. Feng Lao was already waiting in the conference room. All other shareholders were also present. Xianyu, you have been resting for a month. You should have rested this time, right? Feng Lao looked kindly. This list belongs to us and the Lin family in Sijukan. Let's see how to get it and write it down. Plan. Saying that, he pushed all the documents to Zhou Xianyu's face. Although Zhou Yuanlin is not bad. But in terms of business talent, No one is as good as Zhou Xianyu. Saying that, he pushed all the documents in front of Zhou Xianyu. Good morning. Recently I have been recommended a few videos of cross-dressing bloggers. After watching it, I feel that there is really a disguise in this world. Outrageous was written all over my head. After having everything taken away, she returns as a god. Author, Qing Qian. Chapter 237. The eyes of the shareholders were also focused on Zhou Xianyu, with hope in their eyes. The Lin family in Sijukan is also a big family. Although it is not as good as the Xie family, it is neck and neck with the Li family of the Shen family. In particular, son Lin Qingchen, the head of Lin's family, is the master of Chinese medicine and the youngest brain doctor in Daxia. Getting to know the Lin family is crucial. They pin all their hopes on Zhou Xianyu. If it weren't for Zhou Xianyu's extremely high business talent, Zhou's group would not be where it is today. For Zhou Xianyu's ability, Feng Lao still strongly agrees. Zhou Xianyu suppressed the unease in his heart. I'll take a look first. She opened the file, and the more she looked, the more fear she felt in her heart. The last time she just made some mistakes, this time she couldn't understand it at all. How could this be? The shareholders waited for a long time, but Zhou Xianyu did not speak, and was already impatient. Xianyu, the project won't be written for a while, so please tell everyone about these points first. Feng Lao made a timely rescue. Everyone is waiting to hear your ideas. Zhou Xianyu's back was soaked with cold sweat. She doesn't understand anything, and where is she paying attention? Zhou Yuanlin narrowed his eyes. Zhou Xianyu, you don't know how to write a project, do you? This project is much simpler than the one you signed last year. It's ridiculous. Zhou Xianyu took a deep breath and said coldly, I attended various meetings with my grandfather when I was 16. You are still fighting in high school at your age, why do you need to mock me here? Zhou Yuanlin smiled, not angry. He pointed to one of the sentences on the document. Come on, tell me how to solve this point. Zhou Xianyu still did not respond. Shareholders' eyes are also getting sharper. The thorns are generally on the back. Zhou Xianyu got up abruptly. I'll take it home, and I'll definitely write the plan this week. Afraid of being seen, she didn't dare to stay in the conference room any longer and left quickly. Feng Lao, see, I suspect that the projects she wrote before were all stolen from others. Zhou Yuanlin scoffed. I know the question of the MBA sophomore, how long has she been graduating? I'm sweating. Zhou Xianyu's behavior is extremely abnormal, and he is not as calm as before. Feng Lao also became suspicious, and he frowned. Then wait until this weekend. If she can't get it out, it won't be too late to kick her out. Zhou Tianfeng's family is quite abnormal. After Zhou Zong he became a vegetative person. There were rumors in Linkheng that the Zhou family had done something wrong and provoked a ghost, so the family died and the disabled one was sent in. If Zhou Xianyu also became a waste, it would be really laughable and generous. After the meeting, Zhou Yuanlin called his assistant with a gloomy expression, send a few people to keep an eye on Zhou Xianyu. If you find anyone helping her write a project, or who she asks for help, remember to report it. Taking this opportunity, we must let Zhou Xianyu never turn over. The assistant nodded and went down to act. Here. A house of the Li family. Li Yuji has been busy looking for his biological son all these years and moved out of the Li family's old house. Mr. Li also consciously treated him badly, so he specially purchased a suite in the best location in Sijukan. The producer and Li Yu agreed to see the film at noon today. Mr. Li, this is the final version of Looking for the Orphan. The producer said, but we will definitely make more edits before the release, all for the convenience of submission. Li Yuji had already seen the previous scene, and when Sci-fi came on stage, his expression gradually softened. Who is she? It's a rookie actor recommended by teacher Yuan Heping. The producer laughed. To tell you the truth, I thought she couldn't do it at the time, but I didn't expect her to take on Tao Yinghao's drama completely, which is better than Xia Ying's graduation this year. Much better. It's not like those who graduated from a major can act like this. I think those graduates should really go back and rebuild. If you don't have acting skills, you need to look good, and you don't know how to get involved in the entertainment industry. Li Yizhi repeatedly praised, the acting is really good. The insider looks at the doorway, and the outsider looks at the fun. Although the audience will not specifically watch how Sci-Fi's emotions progress during the acting process, but they are moved, which means that Sci-Fi's performance is successful. It's hard for Miss Si. Li Yizhi got up and sent the producer out, I must meet her in person when I promote the movie. Producer farewell. After a while, Yu Tang came with Sci-Fi. She knocked cautiously on the door. After getting a come in, Yu Tang opened the door, Uncle Li, I brought a friend to see you. It's Tang Tang. Li Yizhi was stunned, a smile appeared on his pale face, are you going to college soon? Yu Tang put down the fruit basket, military training in 10 days. That's great, you're already 18. Li Yizhi murmured, suddenly remembering something, the man in his 40s covered his face and choked out, if you are still. Yu Tang was also very uncomfortable. If Li Yizhi's son was still alive, he should have graduated from college by now. I'm sorry, I lost my temper. Li Yizhi took a deep breath before his eyes fell on Sci-Fi, who is this? With Yu Ejian's makeup skills, Li Yizhi didn't recognize Sci-Fi for the first time. Hello, Uncle Li. Sci-Fi nodded in greeting, you should have already seen the film. Li Yizhi took a deep breath and lost his voice, you are, the girl in the movie. It's me, Uncle Li, don't be sad. Sci-Fi comforted in a low voice, when Looking for the Orphan is released and its influence expands, maybe it will be able to be found. Well, that's what I think too. Li Yizhi smiled lightly, but the hope is probably not great. It is true that the Li family also has the right to speak in Sijukan, and it can be considered powerful when looking at Daxia. But based on the entire world, the Li family is far from enough to see. After so many years of not finding it, Li Yizhi has not guessed whether the child was thrown abroad. That's really looking for a needle in a haystack. He also turned to T18 and 0 for help, but after 20 years, all traces had disappeared, but he still couldn't find them. Today, Li Yizhi really has no hope. The producer approached him to make the movie Looking for Orphans, and he more hoped to help other families. If he had been more cautious back then, the child might not have been lost. Too bad there is no if. Okay, I've been here for so many years. Li Yizhi shook his head, have you eaten? If you haven't, let's have a meal together later. Okay. Yu Tang raised her hand, then I'll call Uncle Ninth over as well. Li Yizhi was pleasantly surprised, Xin is back. I came back with Ching Ching. Yu Tang sent Yu Zian a message, Uncle Li, don't worry, with Ching Ching, she will definitely be able to help you find the child. 20 minutes later. Feng San pushed Yu Zian in. He raised his head and said hello with a slight smile, Yizhi. Shi Yan, Li Yizhi stepped forward quickly, how are your legs recently? Is it better? It's much better. Yu Zian's voice was cold, I'm also sending someone to look for your affairs. Alas, you yourself. Li Yu pursed his lips, Shi Yan, you must take care of yourself first. The situation of the Yu family was much more dangerous than that of the Li family. Once Mr. Yu dies, all parties will seize power. He was afraid that Yu Zian would be expelled from the Yu family when he would have no support. Yu Zian looked at him quietly, yes. I'm going to call Tian Xianjian's chef. Li Yizhi got up and his smile widened, it's rare for you to come here, let Xingyun come too, let's get together. Li Yizhi was completely unaware that Yu Zian was sitting beside Sci-Fi. He rolled up his sleeves and turned his head, I haven't announced recently, what do you want to eat tomorrow? Old hot pot. Sci-Fi held his chin, and the fox's eyes lit up, you can also roast duck, I exercise a lot, and I can eat anything. Yu Tang snapped his fingers, I'll see if I'm tomorrow. Yu Zian glanced at her, very calm, without any emotion. Yu Tang counted the days clearly, but her voice suddenly stopped. Tomorrow is Kixi Festival. Yu Tang stammered, ah, my classmate has an appointment with me. We have a party, so I won't bother you. Ninth uncle, for my safety, please send Feng San to me as a bodyguard. What should I do when I go out alone? Yu Zian cherished her words like gold, well. Ching Ching, you are hot now, you must do a good job of disguising. Yu Tang reluctantly gave up, especially following my ninth uncle, his face is really outstanding. I fucking sighed, I'm quite afraid of being photographed when I go with the boss. After all, Yu Zian's face, looking at home and abroad, no one can match it. Yu Tang secretly clenched his fists. She is such a qualified wingman, how knowledgeable, how winking. She sincerely hoped that after returning home, Yu Zian would give her more pocket money. Because of Si fucking's explosive acting skills, the crew of Looking for Orphans specially added a few more shots to her, and also took makeup photos for future publicity. At 5 o'clock in the afternoon, Sang Yanking went to the film and television base to pick up Si fucking. I'm giving you access to magazine covers, you know. Well, I know Si fucking stretched, one is a fashion lady, and the other is a woman's dress. It's this fashion lady, Sang Yanking sneered, we had already agreed verbally in the morning, and we are just waiting for the contract to be signed tomorrow. Just now, the magazine called to say that they chose Lin Wansu, you and Lin, is there a meeting between Wansu? Si fucking raised his eyebrows, Sister Sang, I swear to you that I have never heard of this name. Then why did she suddenly grab the cover of this magazine from you? Sang Yanking frowned, there is no specific list of roles in Dragon Crossing, and she doesn't know that you played the heroine and overwhelmed her. Lin Wansu and Bi Yongzi are university classmates, both of whom graduated from Xiaoying. Bi Yongzi is on fire because of the nation's first love. In comparison, Lin Wansu is weaker. But it is said that Lin Wansu is from the Lin family and has a lot of resources behind it, so the limelight is not small. Si fucking has an endorsement, and there is no shortage of film and television drama resources, so the only thing left is fashion magazines. Sang Yanking kept pacing, and began to think seriously, you said that you became her father? Or did you rob her boyfriend? Or did you rob her best friend Bi Yongzi? That's not right, they are not fake best friends. Si fucking, Sister Sang, you can be more outrageous. I want to find out the reason so that I can prescribe the right medicine. Sang Yan was cold, and the editors of Fashion Women's Clothing, I really thought I would be a sick cat if I didn't show my power, and thought I was begging them to shoot the cover for you. Sister Sang, of course you are not a sick cat. Si fucking applauded her, you are a big tiger who can eat people. Don't put on a high hat for me, and you will set me up. Sang Yanking has learned to be smart now, let's go back first, we don't lack this magazine. Si fucking followed Sang Yanking and chatted with Yu Jian. Sang Yanking just received a call from the editorial department of Ladies Fashion. That's right, Sister Sang, we discussed it and decided to give the page to Miss Si. The editor-in-chief of MS Fashion said with a smile, MS Lin and the others mean that they can give the inner cover to Miss Si, that way both of them can shoot. Sang Yanking paused, you mean, you asked my artist to match Lin Wansu? Alas, Sister Sang, why are you saying it so ugly, and Miss Lin was originally Miss C's predecessor. The editor-in-chief said, the inner seal is also the cover, not to mention. Sang Yanking directly dropped the phone, and was about to get angry when he was interrupted by a roar. Here they passed, a costume crew was filming. Lin Wansu, will you be filming? Ah. As far as your acting skills are concerned, I can even catch a passerby than you, the director roared, yes, it's just you, come and show her. He pointed to Si fucking. Si fucking? See you tomorrow. After having everything taken away, she returns as a god. Author, Ching Qian. Chapter 238. Si fucking took a step and slowly raised his head. Does she really look like a passerby? Yu Jian looked at her little junior sister, and commented seriously, the clothes are very similar, but the body is not like. It was still a short-sleeved t-shirt for $20 or $30, and a plastic bag was in his hand. Few of the actors in dragon suits dress like this. Si fucking pressed down on the sun hat. You don't understand, is this a trend? Yu Jian humbly asked, what trend? Si fucking, the trend that SISI leads. Tsukishima. You win. After the director finished pointing, when he looked back and saw Si fucking's face, he couldn't help but be taken aback. He pointed at someone casually, why is his appearance so high? If this face value enters the entertainment industry, how else would other people have to mix? Lin Wansu also turned around, and her expression changed instantly. But some staff screamed. Ah ah ah. Poor treasure. Director, I want to ask for an autograph, can you read it? The director was dizzy, she's also in our circle. Of course the etiquette guide came over, De Xiaoxinyan, Director Su, how long has it been since you surfed the internet, why don't you know? De Xiaoxinyan, Director Su looked Si fucking up and down again and agreed, well, finally, there is someone who can deserve this title. He has been filming for so many years, and after listening to a lot of fans bragging about it, no one can watch it. Director Su's eyes became more and more kind, come on, little girl, are you free now? If you are free, come to our crew for guidance. Si fucking politely refused, no, I can't act. You can give guidance even if you don't know how to act. Director Su smiled, what you want is that you don't know how to act. If you know how to act, it's a blow to your dimensionality. Hearing this, Lin Wansu smiled, sat down directly, and leaned back on the chair, okay, Director Su, you let her play, but I want to see how she plays. It is undeniable that after the end of 66 Days to Survive, Si fucking is already the top of the traffic idols. The fact that cute beans and actors have a wall is also well known in the circle. Does Si fucking have acting skills? Can it stand the test of the lens? Lin Wansu just thought it was ridiculous. No matter how different she is from the Xiaoying graduate of the same level, she is also from a professional class, not a traffic idol who can give her guidance. Director Su took a few steps forward and shoved the script directly into Si fucking's hands, that's it, take a look at it, it's very simple. Lin Wansu is filming a time travel drama. The heroine was an ordinary white-collar worker before she crossed over. After she crossed over, she met 5 princes, and later she met the emperor of the dynasty. Because the female protagonist is a transmigrant and is not afraid of imperial power, she has attracted the appreciation of many people. A farce started. Si fucking watched the plot and characters silently, she didn't really want to act. Sang Yanking naturally knew what Si fucking was thinking. She took 2 steps forward, Director Su, it's you, my artist has only just started to get in touch with film and television dramas. I haven't asked her for a teacher, so I really can't act. What teacher are you asking for? Even if you hire a teacher, you don't necessarily know how to act. Speaking of this, Director Su's anger remained undisturbed, you're just a piece of jade if you haven't practiced. Come on, little girl, I believe in you, you go straight to it. Director Su, don't embarrass her. Lin Wansu put her hand on the back of the chair, she is an idol, she can only sing and dance. By the way, aren't you going to shoot a magazine? How are you thinking? Si fucking raised his eyes and said lightly, then I'll give it a try, there aren't many lines in this passage. She read the script drawn with red lines, handed it back to Director Su, and walked to where Lin Wansu was standing just now. The others stepped back, the camera's still on. This kind of thing that other people come to teach the show often happens, and sometimes it is released as a tidbit, which can also increase the popularity. In this scene, the Seventh Lord returned from a war and met the heroine in the garden. There are not many lines, the important thing is the progression of emotions. Under the peach blossom tree, the woman raised her head and smiled slightly towards the distance. Flowers and trees pile snow, crescent moon halo. From a distance, it looks like the sun is rising. It's hard to pull away from her beauty. 3 minutes are over quickly. The whole place was quiet. From the first casual and dismissive look, Lin Wansu's expression finally became solemn, changing and changing. She only regards Sci-fucking as her rival in love. When will Sci-fucking threaten her in her career? Some staff members are fans of Sci-fucking, but more crew members have only heard of Sci-fucking's name. But now everyone is on the same page. When she smiled at me just now, I was moved. If I were the emperor, if I wanted 3,000 in the harem, one Sci-fucking would be enough. I really need to doubt Lin Wansu's acting skills. King Bao can perform, how can she act like a robot? Yeah, and Sci-fucking didn't even wear a costume, but I didn't feel abrupt when she acted just now, and she was so good looking that 6 men would be willing to bow down to her. Silly sweet. The important thing is white and sweet. Lin Wansu only acted as a fool. Director Su froze and turned to look at Sang Yanking. Haven't you practiced? Sang Yanking. Didn't she let Sci-fucking take it a little? Sci-fucking raised his hand and made a gesture of surrender. Said she was very close. Sang Yanking pressed his temples with great headache. Ro. Count her misguided. Sang Yanking gritted his teeth and smiled, acting in the true colors. Director Su, you know, our artists are the sweet and sweet type. Director Su was already a little regretful at this time, and sighed, why didn't I find you earlier? No way, the drama has already been filmed for more than half, and Lin Wansu brought money into the group again. There is no way to change the heroine. Director Su, don't find me. Sci-fucking put on his sunglasses unhurriedly, this script is not my thing. What Mary Sue can write such a script? Director Su smiled instead, you really dare to say it? He also doesn't want to shoot this type of ancient puppet. Who made the audience love this one now? Lin Wansu also intends to rely on this drama to win back the competition with Byungzi. I'll keep in touch when I have time. Director Su took out a business card and handed it to Sang Yanking. Ms. Sang, I'm optimistic about your artist, your vision is really good, I look forward to your second Tong Luyun. Sang Yanking just smiled and said nothing. Several people left. Did you see it? Director Su turned his head and pointed at Lin Wansu's nose, although I didn't catch a passerby for you, the ones caught are not good at acting. Look at Sci-fucking's acting, and then see your acting. Yes, what did you play, tell me? You don't know how to play such a simple role, and you still want to make a movie? Do you want to develop better than your classmates? Hurry up, go and see how they acted just now, you won't play it for me to learn. Lin Wansu's face turned blue and red, and for the first time felt extremely embarrassed. The entire crew looked at her, and she was even more ashamed. It's good that there was no comparison before, but with Sci-fucking's comparison, it's not very harmful, and it's extremely insulting. Lin Wansu took a deep breath, took off the headgear, and went to the restroom beside him. With no one around, she dialed a number. Hello, on the other end of the phone, the male voice was soft, have you finished filming today? Not yet. Lin Wansu was very aggrieved. Jianian, you don't know who I met today, it's that Sci-fucking, she really went too far, didn't she bully me on purpose? After listening to Lin Wansu's narration, Su Jianian was really surprised, she can act. Can she also be called acting? Her agent said that she would act in her true colors. What to act? Lin Wansu was very angry, I'm not in good shape these days, so she rushed over, not to give me a slap in the face. What is it? Su Jianian pursed his lower lip. She shouldn't have such thoughts. I don't care, you can change someone. Lin Wansu acted coquettishly. I really don't like her, you can change anyone else, it can't be si fucking. What if you really like her then? Su Jianian smiled, is it okay to leave Yungzi? Lin Wansu's face froze, can't we not fire CP? Susu, we are both in the rising stage of our careers. Su Jianian patiently persuaded, you don't want to ruin our careers because of romance, right? Okay. Lin Wansu really liked Su Jianian, so she could only give in. Anyway, I stole her magazine cover, and I've got a bad breath. What if Sang Yanking is her manager, and she has been away from the entertainment industry for so many years? It's long gone. Su Jianian frowned, you robbed her of the magazine cover. What's the matter, I can grab more of her in the future. Lin Wansu said, Jianian, the Shen family is going to have a wedding this month, so you can come too. Su Jianian smiled again, I don't want to enter in your rich circle. It's okay, I'll take you in, no one will stop me. Lin Wansu was very happy, the important thing is that my cousin will also go, he is a master of Chinese medicine, I will try to introduce you to him when the time comes. Su Jianian had naturally heard of Lin Qingchen's name, so he responded with a smile, okay. Then it's settled. Lin Wansu said, it's time to pretend. A wealthy wedding of this level would naturally not allow entertainment reporters to come in. She hadn't seen Su Jianian for half a month, so she just took this opportunity to get together. Here. Sang Yanking watched helplessly as Si fucking picked a fried chicken restaurant. In the past, when she brought artists, they all strictly required their diet, and they could only eat boiled chicken breast and boiled vegetables. After all, this is what the actor eats, and the figure is very important. But she followed Si fucking these days, and she never saw the sister eat low-calorie food. Oh, Si fucking was unhurried, I run 10 kilometers every day and practice with weights for an hour, can they do it? Sang Yanking. Moon size. Her little junior sister didn't say that her 10 kilometers ran in less than 20 minutes. Not to mention that the metabolism of evolutionary people is dozens of times that of ordinary people, and a small amount of poison can be excreted from the body through metabolism. Sang Yanking went out to answer the phone. Come back in a few minutes. I'm really convinced by this editor-in-chief. Sang Yanking slapped the table, I called again just now, arrogant, and said that Lin Wansu did not agree to give you the inner seal, let us find another way. At once. You don't think that you have sold 100,000 last month, and you have regarded yourself as a top magazine, right? It's a big face. Si fucking didn't care, and happily ate the fried chicken nuggets with cheese and milk. After Sang Yanking finished scolding, his expression was serious, Ching Ching, tell me honestly, you really aren't a father, are you? Si fucking blinked, am I that kind of person? Don't pretend to be good. Sang Yanking patted her on the shoulder, it doesn't matter whether you are her father or not. You were her acting teacher just now, and she must have remembered you. Si fucking said lazily, just remember, I'll be her father when she comes again. Yes, the soldiers will block the water and cover the soil. Sang Yanking sneered, I have contacted you about another magazine cover just before dinner, get ready, we will go to the scene the day after tomorrow. Si fucking, who was about to lie down for 2 days. Yumi slowly opened a bottle of beer and said in a voice that only 2 people could hear, Xiaoju, you are so popular, no matter where you go, someone will pull you to work. It's still senior sister, I'm good to you and I share the same ailment, and we're all dragged to work. Nonsense. Si fucking opened a bottle of Coke, the best is the senior brother. Not only will he not pull me to work, but he will also cook for me. Yu Jian murmured, I don't know where senior brother is now, I miss him a lot too. There will always be. Si fucking rubbed his chin. It's possible that he went to the extreme north, maybe he was skiing and playing with polar bears. Yu Jian looked complicated. This is something only you can do, right? Si fucking gave her a piece of sweet and spicy fried chicken. Third senior sister, eat fried chicken, eat without saying a word or sleep. Tsukishima. All in all, among the 9 people in the division, no one can say that they are younger sisters. On the other side, Linkhung, Zhuojia. Zhou Tianfeng was answering the phone. He didn't know what to say over there, but he had a happy expression on his face. You said the Barren Mountain matter has been done. Zhou Tianfeng was overjoyed. As long as you report it, the person in charge will be imprisoned for at least 20 years. Okay, you've helped a lot this time, and I'll definitely thank you when I look back. After the call ended, MRS Zhou hurriedly asked, how is it? It's foolproof, I can definitely send Si fucking in. Zhou Tianfeng sneered. She really thought I gave her a barren mountain to give her money, but she signed it so generously. What an idiot. Now that something has happened, the first person in charge is her. I see how she can get away this time. Ever since Si fucking refused to let Zhou Qinjia go, the Zhou family was destined to live forever with Si fucking. He must let Si fucking have a taste of what it is like to be in prison. Zhou Tianfeng held back his excitement. Where's Xianyu? Go and tell her the good news. The barren mountains can be done well, and she is always following up. Xianyu kept herself locked in the room and didn't come out. MRS Zhou was worried. She's been in a bad state these 2 days. Then let her rest first, and I'll deal with Si fucking. Zhou Tianfeng made a decision. I'll fly to Si fucking in a while, and I'll watch Si fucking be arrested. He is going to give Zhou Qinjia and Zhou Zonghe this bad breath. The next morning, Lu Ningsheng knew that Si fucking was in Sijukan, so he came to find her in person early in the morning and sent a wedding invitation. Ching ching, Shen 11 and I are getting married. The wedding date is in the middle of this month, so you must come to attend. And that Mr. Zhang, I also invited him. She can make a comeback in her career without the help of Si fucking. So soon? Si fucking raised his eyebrows. Okay, I will definitely go. By the way, Ching Ching, you haven't considered developing a music career? Lu Ningsheng asked. You're very good at composing and writing lyrics, and you're a bit of a loser in acting. Cough cough. Si fucking paused. Mr. Lu, I don't want to take another job. How can this be more part-time work? This is to promote your strengths, Lu Ningsheng said. Just based on your composition level, if you sing again, won't you directly win the Hera Music Award? The Hera Music Awards are the most influential music awards in the world, such as the status of the Glenn Award in the film and television industry. Let's talk about it. Si fucking held his chin. I'll think about it when I can't even afford fried chicken. Lu Ningsheng. Wait, dare to win the prize just for the bonus. Lu Ningsheng was about to persuade, but there was a knock on the hotel door. Bang bang bang. Loud and urgent. Who else came here so early? Lu Ningsheng got up. Ching ching, do you have any plans for today? If you don't, I'll take you around the city center and buy you a few sets of clothes. You can't always dress like this. There is no arrangement in the morning. In the afternoon, I want to have dinner with my boss. Si fucking raised his head, but he shouldn't come over so early, so I'll go take a look. She walked over to open the door. When he saw the scene outside the door, the fox's eyes narrowed. There are a full 8 uniformed youths armed with guns. Si fucking, you've killed someone. Zhou Tianfeng's face was cold. Several. She can do some kung fu, and she's quite cunning, so please tie her up first. Good morning, babies. Thank you for your donations and monthly tickets. See you in the afternoon. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. After having everything taken away, she returns as a god. Author, Qing Qian. Chapter 239. Zhou Tianfeng can be said to be proud. In the past few months, Zhou's family has not only been hit hard in business, but the family affairs have also made Zhou Tianfeng feel haggard. Yesterday, the construction site supervisor told him that the miner's body was found in the barren mountain in Linkheng. Although it was an accident, it was normal for accidents on the construction site, but as long as he made a big fuss, Sci-fi wouldn't even want to get involved in the entertainment industry. Although Barren Mountain has always been the Zhou family responsible for development, there is no way, who asked Sci-fi to take the initiative to sign the transfer contract at that time. Now the ownership of the Barren Mountain is in her hands. She is the first person in charge and is responsible for this incident. After a few months of forbearance, Zhou Tianfeng finally found an opportunity to clean up Sci-fi. Lu Ningshen's expression changed, and he became nervous. Ching, what's going on? Sci-fi's brows and eyes were calm, and his expression was sloppy. I have to go out with the boss in the afternoon for a small matter, which is easy to solve. But they have guns. Lu Ningshen grabbed the phone. Ching, I'll contact Shen 11, don't worry, these people can't be arrogant. If you can have a gun license in the 4 and 9 cities, you will definitely not be an ordinary resident. The Shen family manages the international logistics of the Daxia Empire. Although the family background is not as strong as Xiejiaqiang, the network is very strong. Zhou Tianfeng didn't pay attention to the entertainment industry at all, and he didn't know any of the top divas. He didn't even bother to deal with these actors. The person who can mix with Sci-fi is not a star in the entertainment industry. Zhou Tianfeng didn't look down on a single one. What does it have to do with you? Zhou Tianfeng glanced coldly. Who can you find? Be careful to catch you together. Lu Ningshen sneered. You guys broke into this place without authorization. Is there any more Wang Fa? Wang Fa, Zhou Tianfeng pointed to the 8 uniformed youths behind him. Do you know who they are? The one who specially formulated Wang Fa, Sci-fi. If you're not in Sijukan, it's really hard to catch you. Is there an arrest warrant? Or is there a search warrant? Sci-fi took his last sip of coke calmly. Come here after you have these two, and I have a lawyer. If you have anything, please contact my lawyer directly. Connect. Lawyer, Zhou Tianfeng smiled. It's useless if you have a lawyer if your life is at stake. He heard that Sci-fi also took 1.8 billion from Tianal Media. When the time came, he asked Sci-fi to not only spit out the 2 billion yuan he had taken from Zhou's family, but also take the 1.8 billion yuan with him. Sci-fi put one hand in his pocket and looked around. Is there a lot of cameras here? Lu Ningshen was already highly nervous, and when she heard this suddenly, she was stunned for a while, unable to react. It should be quite a lot. Sci-fi took out his phone, pressed a few keys, and smiled slightly. Don't tie it up, I'll go with you. You're good at it. Zhou Tianfeng's eyes were gloomy. It's really troublesome for everyone. She's a star, we have to go through the back door. Zhou Tianfeng didn't want to cause a sensation in the entertainment industry before he completely sent Sci-fi in. He couldn't understand at all. Obviously at the beginning Sci-fi was shouting at everyone in the entertainment circle, and there would be black fans pouring acid on the road. It has only been a few months, and Sci-fi has already become the top among female idols. Luck is not so good. On the contrary, the Zhuojia has gone from bad to worse. Zhou Tianfeng also believed that Sci-fi was the broom star, and took away the fortune of the Zhou family. Sci-fi gave Lu Ningshen a reassuring gesture, and followed behind the uniformed youths. The group went out from the back door of the hotel. Only the delivery van from the hotel will come here. It is early and there is no one around. Sci-fi stopped. Hurry up, a uniformed youth immediately put the gun behind her head. Aren't you able to walk? Sci-fi tilted his head slightly and smiled. I don't recommend you use it to point at me. What nonsense, The uniformed youth frowned and used his hands hard. Be honest. He didn't have the slightest impression of SI fucking. As a star who makes money in the entertainment industry, but ignores the lives of ordinary minors, if such a person really becomes an idol of young people, it will be a misunderstood child. SI fucking, I advise you not to play any tricks. Zhou Tianfeng snorted coldly. Even if you can do some kung fu, it's not. Bang. SI fucking suddenly raised his hand and directly squeezed the barrel of the gun. The expression of the uniformed youth changed, and he subconsciously pulled the trigger. But in the next second, his hand suddenly went numb and uncontrollably loosened. In the blink of an eye, the gun was in SI fucking's hands. She moved so fast that the other 7 youths in uniform didn't react at all. When they came back to their senses, the guns in their hands were gone. Clap clap clap. SI fucking squeezed the gun like a Coke can. Until all the guns become scrap metal. She looked serious, and in the eyes of everyone gradually solidified, she said earnestly, "Don't play with such a dangerous thing, it will cause accidents, and it should be solved like this." The 8 uniformed youths were horrified. Is this something people can do? Zhou Tianfeng watched helplessly as SI fucking threw all the confiscated guns into the trash can. How hard does it take to squeeze metal products directly? Wouldn't it be possible to crush human bones? Zhou Tianfeng didn't know, and didn't want to know. His legs trembled, and he turned to run. But Zhou Tianfeng didn't have this chance. Crack. With a crisp sound, Zhou Tianfeng's shoulder was grabbed by a hand, and the girl's voice was soft. "What are you running? Aren't you trying to catch me?" Zhou Tianfeng opened his mouth, and just as he was about to say something, the world suddenly turned around. Boom. SI fucking threw him over his shoulder and pinned him to the ground. Zhou Tianfeng was so pained that his whole body curled up, his voice trembled. "SI fucking, there are cameras here, you are a star, you dare to do it in broad daylight." As a public figure, even in the face of extreme illegitimate fans and black fans, celebrities have no way to fight back, otherwise they will be said to be narrow-minded. "Don't be afraid, because you can't shoot me." After cleaning up Zhou Tianfeng, SI fucking's eyes slowly fell on the 8 uniformed youths. "I don't have any documents or evidence, so I dare to arrest people." SI fucking smiled slightly. "I need to call and ask how the people above you are doing." She took out her mobile phone, pressed the phone number in her hand, and dialed the phone. "Shanglu, there is a performance, come here." Although SI fucking told Lu Ningsheng not to worry, Lu Ningsheng still contacted Shen 11. Through the description, Shen 11 knew that those uniformed youths were members of the 49 City Law Enforcement Team and belonged to the Qinjun League. The law enforcement team was dispatched, and this is no small matter. After Shen 11 finished packing, he was about to go to the headquarters of the Qinjun League to contact someone he knew, and bumped into Shen Xingyun, who had just returned from outside. Shen Xingyun stopped him in time. "Second brother, what are you rushing to do this early in the morning? Call me loudly, someone from the law enforcement team wants to arrest Miss S.I." Shen 11's face was ugly. "I don't know what it is yet, I have to clear the relationship first." "Miss S.I., Shen Xingyun was surprised. "SI fucking. Of course." Shen 11 has already pushed open the door. "Sing Sheng's vocal cords can be good, it is Miss S.I. who introduced a genius doctor. I must express my thanks to Miss S.I. at the wedding ceremony." "No, just wait." Shen Xingyun finally reacted. "Shi Yan is in Sijukan, he brought this little girl, why are you going to join in the fun?" Shen 11 was startled, and his footsteps stopped abruptly. "Is she from Xi'an?" "No, bodyguard," Shen Xingyun said. "Xi'an can protect this little girl." Shen 11's eyes widened. "Close to you?" He and Yu Ziyan only knew each other and nodded, but they also knew Yu Ziyan's character. It seems calm and gentle, but in fact it refuses people thousands of miles away, and there is cruelty in the depths of his bones. Brothers, Yu Ziyan will help with anything. But for so many years, even Shen Xingyun, who spent the most time with him, couldn't get close to his heart. Sometimes Shen 11 felt that Uzion was out of tune with this era. This man is too precious, and the materialistic flow around him has tarnished him. In the beginning, it was really just a bodyguard. Shen Xingyun thought about it, but then it seemed that Shi Yan was a fan of Emperor Yin, and it happened that Miss Si was too. The two had similar interests. Shen 11. Who's fan? Can you do this? Anyway, it's no use if you go. Miss Si is not easy to provoke, and it's not that you don't know how protective Shi Yan is. Shen Xingyun shook her head, he must have already left. Shen 11 thought about it as well, then tell Shi Yan, I'll go to the hotel to pick up the call, and then you tell me Miss C's location. I'm afraid she won't be at ease. Shen Xingyun nodded, and after sending Shen 11 away, went to contact Uzion. After he finished speaking, he sighed, don't say it, Miss Si is really popular, you have to be optimistic, or you will be hired away one day, and you won't have time to regret it. Uzion raised her eyebrows calmly, her voice was cool, without joy or anger. You just told me this. No, of course not. I'm asking Miss Si what's going on. Shen Xingyun had a strong desire to survive, so he sacrificed Si fucking in time. What are you going to do? Uzion rested her head on her hands, and Rufeng lowered her eyes. She wants to play, I'll accompany her. On the phone was a message from Si fucking a few minutes ago. Boss, I'm sorry, someone came to the door, my hands are itchy, and I have a play with them. So this afternoon may be a missed appointment, but don't worry, I will definitely accompany you tonight. It was followed by a smiley face emoji. Shen Xingyun choked, you two are really. How? I think you're going to have a good time. Uzion was silent for a moment, then slowly said, it's still too young. Understood, you still have to raise them. Shen Xingyun, I'll be responsible for giving the gift money anyway. By the way, do you want to go to my second brother's wedding? Anyway, the second sister-in-law sent an invitation to Miss Si. Uzion hummed lightly. Okay, see you at the wedding. Shen Xingyun ended the call and began to seriously think about a question. Could it be that he has been single for so long because there is no idol who can have a common language with girls? Might as well give it a try. When Zhou Tianfeng woke up, he only felt pain all over his body, as if he had been run over several times by a car. When he found out that he was in a black interrogation room and his hands and feet were chained, the whole person panicked. What's the noise? The door was pushed open, and Shang Lu walked in. What should I do if I make a noise with Miss Si? Zhou Tianfeng was shocked and angry. The person in charge is Si fucking, why are you tying me up? You know that there are many mudslides in the south of the mountain, but you deliberately let the miners go deep into it, killing 3 people, and you want to put the blame on Miss Si. Shang Lu sneered, when you come in, don't think about going out. Zhou Tianfeng was even more frightened and struggled, where is Si fucking? Where is she? Don't howl, I can hear you. Si fucking walked in slowly, his eyebrows raised, I haven't looked for you yet, but you brought it to the door yourself, you're really interesting. Zhou Tianfeng stared, Si fucking. How did you get me here? What do you want to do? I'm here to tell you, do you know why your Zhou family is so miserable? Si fucking put his hands on the table and smiled slightly, if you take my luck, it depends on whether you can bear it. Zhou Tianfeng's eyes widened, and he blurted out, what did you say? The Zhou family took Si fucking's luck? What an international joke. Is there such a thing in modern society? Si fucking, don't be superstitious here. Zhou Tianfeng clenched his fists, do you think you can lock me up by saying this? Your father couldn't bear it and died immediately. Si fucking was very calm, your younger brother also died, your son became a vegetable, and now you have taken the initiative to send it to the door. My luck has been taken back, and your Zhou family will be gone. The more Zhou Tianfeng listened, the more his heartbeat became stronger, he grabbed the armrest of the chair, his eyes were splitting. You are talking nonsense. Even if there is real luck, you stole the luck of my Zoe family. It's the broom star. Come on, call your most proud and talented second daughter now. Clasped his hands and raised his chin. Let's see if she can understand anything related to business. It should be all gone now, right? Zhou Tianfeng recalled Zhou Xianyu's abnormality during this period of time, and his heart became more and more panic. Nonsense. Xianyu is a business genius, what does it have to do with you? Waste. He was kicked hard in the back. Shang Lu put the mobile phone in front of Zhou Tianfeng and forced his hand directly on the dial button. I was finally able to go out today and get a haircut. The barber guy was afraid that I was bored and kept pulling me to chat, but he didn't know that I was a social fear 3. See you tomorrow. After having everything taken away, she returns as a god. Author, Qing Qian. Chapter 240. Shang Lu's voice was cold. Fight. Zhou Tianfeng didn't want to write a word of words. But it was about the future of Zhou Xianyu and the Zhou clan, and he could only dial out the phone under pressure in humiliation. After 2 beeps, the other party picked up. Dad. Aren't you in Sijukan? How is it, things are done? Xianyu, tell me honestly, can you still write projects now? Zhou Tianfeng's voice trembled. Is your business talent still there? Zhou Xianyu's pupils shrank suddenly, and she said calmly, Dad, what are you talking about? How can you say that talent is not there? I'm just tired these days. However, how well Zhou Tianfeng knew Zhou Xianyu's temperament, hearing her say that, his heart was completely cold. Zhou Xianyu is very proud. Since Mr. Zhou discovered her business talent, he took her around in the business field, and he was used to listening to the praises of the people around him, so how could he use excuses to cover up? The Zhou family actually stole luck. Zhou Tianfeng stared blankly in front of him, not even responding to Zhou Xianyu's constant calls to him from the receiver. Shang Lu dropped the phone and looked at Miss Si. Follow the interrogation procedure. Stood up. The person in charge can be imprisoned for 20 years, right? Yes, Shang Lu nodded, but be more ruthless, the death penalty is also acceptable. Okay. Si's eyes fell on Zhou Tianfeng, who was already sluggish, and slowly, that's what you want. It was not until the sound of the door opening and closing that Zhou Tianfeng recovered from the extreme fear. He struggled hard, his eyes were red. Come back. Even if things were extremely absurd, Zhou Tianfeng had no choice but to believe in such a situation. Before Mr. Zhou brought back, although the Zhou family had the right to speak in Linkheng, they were far from being the top giants, let alone the number 1 position today. Since came to Zhou's family, the business of Zhou's family has become more and more prosperous, and he has signed many big orders, and he is very lucky. On the other hand, suddenly gained weight for a while, and then went to the hospital for a while. The more prosperous the Zhou family is, the worse situation becomes. Thinking about it, the old man Zhou didn't know what method he used to continuously transfer the chi luck from Si's body to the Zhou family. This transfer took 13 years. But if, as Si said, the luck was taken back, and the Zhou family was gone, what would they do? Zhou Tianfeng didn't dare to think about it at all, his voice was hoarse. Si, come back. Come back. Be honest, Shang Lu shot down with a shot of tranquilizer. I said, don't even think about going out when you come in. Zhou Tianfeng's eyes darkened and he passed out again. Outside the door, Si received a call from the beginning of Nianting. Hey, Uncle Si said, well, I'm going back to Bizhu at the end of August, just in time for my cousin's school entrance exam. I told him that I'll have to check it, otherwise I'll have all the gifts. Take it back. Okay, You and auntie pay attention to rest, don't be too tired, I can make money. After the call ended, Si fucking glanced at the time. 4 o'clock. She just happened to catch up with her to work for the boss. She sent a message to Uzion asking where he was. After a few seconds, Si fucking received an address. It is a pedestrian street in Sijukan. Si fucking put on makeup first, and then rode a shared bicycle after the sunglasses, masks, hats were all put into battle. There are many people on the pedestrian street, and there are all kinds of small traders and hawkers on both sides of the street. Standing at the entrance, she could smell the aroma of pastries and barbecue. Sifu tilted the brim of his hat and looked around. Well, no one found her. She quickly found Uzion. Although he was wearing casual clothes today, his figure could not be concealed, coupled with his outstanding temperament, he could be found in the crowd at a glance. As if he also noticed her gaze, the man turned his head and looked at her calmly. How did you bring this mask out? Si fucking walked over and pointed at his face, and I want to offer it. It's okay, Uzion said calmly, many people are wearing them. Seeing that at least 6 or 7 of the men and women around were wearing the same masks as Uzion, Si fucking said. Okay, Emperor Yin is the real top class. 1500 years of the top stream. But you are real. Si fucking couldn't help but raised his hand and touched the mask, the textures are different. Her wrist was suddenly pressed, and a soft sigh came from under the mask, don't move, it will fall in a while. Si fucking stared at him for a few seconds, then withdrew his hand, okay. The two go in. By the way, why are there so many people here today? Sifu looked around, what's going on? There are also many ordinary people. Uzion nodded, this place was originally a tourist attraction. Is that so? Si fucking looked at the food around him, I'll buy something to eat first, and find a place for me to have a big meal first. She quickly ran around in front of more than a dozen stalls, and when she came back, her hands were full. Uzion lifted her eyelashes and glanced at the snacks in her hand, with a slight smile in her eyes, you really do well to support yourself. That's it. Si fucking found a path, boss, come here, I bought it for you, I haven't eaten yet. Uzion was taken by her to the back of a temple. There is no one here. Si fucking took off his mask and said happily, I can finally eat. Aside, Uzion didn't eat, just sat quietly. The leaves fell from the heights and floated on his shoulders, showing more and more elegance. Si fucking was eating very seriously until the sound of footsteps. She quickly wiped her mouth and put on a mask, and when she looked up, she found that it was a monk. Donor, we are very destined to meet each other in such a remote place. The monk folded his hands together, it's not even a hexagram, I'm sorry Buddha, let us meet here. Si fucking said lazily, Buddha will only drop a thunderbolt at this moment to kill you, saying that you are bluffing and deceiving in his name. The monk touched his nose, the donor is joking, the Buddha. Before he could finish speaking, there was a sudden thunderclap above his head. Monk. Uzion bent her fingers and flicked her forehead, don't be naughty, girl. Who made him want to lie to us? Si fucking blinked, the tourist attractions who pull people to tell fortunes are all liars. The poor monk is not a liar. The monk came back to his senses and looked righteous, donor, why don't you draw a lottery, if what the poor monk said is wrong, you just don't pay. Uzion stretched out her hand, then let's smoke. Si fucking also drew a lot. Hey, these two signatures. The monk looked at the signature for a long time, it's good or not, it's not bad, or it's very peaceful, the dead trees are in the spring, how much you have suffered in the past, you will flourish in the future. He looked at Si fucking, and then at Uzion. Really weird. It stands to reason that the two of them are both prematurely dead, but they are full of vitality. He had never seen such a strange face before. You can't live and die, can you? Okay, I can still say it. I fucking stood up. Boss, I'm going to buy candied haws, do you want to eat it? Uzion raised his chin slightly. No need, you can go. Okay, then wait for me here. After I fucking left, Uzion gave the fortune-telling money to the monk, and looked into the distance to rest quietly. This benefactor, the monk clasped his hands together and stopped him. It's hard to say what your destiny is in front of other people. The poor monk will tell you in private. Uzion suddenly turned her head. His Rufeng eyes are deep and clear. There was a faint smile on the man's lips, but at this moment, the monk only felt that a jack was pressing on him, and it was difficult to even breathe for a while. But soon, Uzion's eyes dropped, lightly. Why can't you tell? The monk hesitated for a moment and lowered his voice. Ziwei's destiny, the Emperor's destiny, the true dragon's purple chi, benefactor, you were born in the wrong age. After all, it is not a feudal monarchy now. Where is the Emperor's saying? He has also seen a few people with Ziwei's fate. All of them are powerful people, and they are all at the top in their respective fields. He has never seen the real Ziwei fate. Moreover, even the ancient emperors may not be all crepe myrtle. Otherwise, there will be no faint king or king of subjugation. Uzion didn't answer these words. He slowly tilted his head. What about her? The monk stared at Si who was buying candied haws in the distance, and finally slowly dropped 4 words, the king does not see the king. When he turned around, he saw Uzion smiling at him again. His eyes are calm and gentle, but his aura is very strong. Alas, the opposite sex attracts. The monk remedied in time, but I see this female benefactor, she transported her peach blossoms to her own, but her fortune is prosperous. Donor, you have a long way to go in the future. Uzion hummed lightly, it's a bit of a real skill. The monk touched his head and laughed. Boss, why are you still here? Let's not communicate with the gods. Si came over with a serious expression, he will cheat money. Monk. Although it was said that he did such a thing, how could it be so wrong for someone to say this? He said it quite well. Uzion supported her head, it's not easy to survive outside. Monk. Why hurt him so much? Boss, if you say he's good, then it should be really good. Si immediately changed his tone, how to settle the bill. The monk quickly took out the QR code, to Alipay or WeChat. Si She said, this is definitely a liar. The next day. Early in the morning, Si was called by Sang Yanking's life-threatening serial call. She was still sleepy, and Sang Yanking had already come in with a makeup artist and a stylist. The editor-in-chief of that magazine today has a very high vision. She has studied at Glen for several years. Sang Yanking poured a cup of coffee. What you have to do is to make her insist on you. Si was drowsy, it's enough for me to have a face. Sang Yanking. Can you stop being so narcissistic? Forget it, there is narcissistic capital. Miss Sang, Miss Si really doesn't need makeup on this face. The makeup artist also smiled, I'm naturally beautiful, I've never seen a star with better skin than her, and it's not natural to put on makeup. Sang Yanking was very tired, then put on the makeup after the isolation. When he turned his head, he saw the stylist frowning again. Sang Yanking stepped forward, what's the matter, is there a problem with the styling? No, the stylist shook his head, I feel that Miss Si is suitable for any style, so no problem, I have to think about it. Sang Yanking felt even more tired. After a whole morning of tossing, Si finally went out. The stylist specially colored her hair. Highlighted dark red, retro waves, auras suddenly stronger. It's very good, it's like this. Sang Yanking was very satisfied, the annual festival of the Times is coming soon. When you appear, you will definitely be a red carpet killer. The annual festival of the Times is a very important ceremony in the entertainment industry. It is held in Sijukan in early December every year. Si fucking seriously thought about the weather in Sijukan at this time, and raised his hand. Sister Sang, do you mind if I wear a down jacket and hold a thermos? Sang Yanking smiled and said kindly, I mind, very much. She glanced at the time, let's go have a meal first, we have an appointment for 4 o'clock. Si fucking, you will wake me up at 6 o'clock at 4 o'clock. Rather sooner rather than later, Sang Yanking said slowly, who knew that you were doing styling so fast, I'll ask you to sleep more next time. The light of salted fish in Si fucking's eyes disappeared. Being a female star is exhausting. At this time, Link hung. Zhou Xianyu has returned to the office. She pretended to be writing a project. Mr. Zhou, the deputy manager, knocked on the door. This is the project we wrote, please take a look. Zhou Xianyu pretended to be calm, put it here. After the deputy manager put down the project, he withdrew. Zhou Xianyu was about to open it and received a call from MRS Zhou. Xian, Xianyu, something happened. Madame Zhou's voice trembled. Your father was arrested by the 49 City Law Enforcement Team. Zhou Xianyu's expression changed. Shouldn't it be Si fucking who was caught? The person in charge of Barren Mountain is Si fucking, how come it was Zhou Tianfeng who was arrested instead? No. I don't know, Madame Zhou panicked. Xianyu, what should I do? Your father was arrested, and our family, we don't have a single one left. In just a few months, Zhou Tianfeng's family can be said to be in ruins. This is something that no one could have imagined. Zhou Xianyu's hand also trembled. She has no business talent now. As long as she is discovered, she will definitely be kicked out of the Zhou clan. If even Zhou Tianfeng fell, she and Madame Zhou would have absolutely nothing to rely on. Mom, don't worry. Zhou Xianyu let out a breath slowly. Si fucking is a star, we use public opinion to defeat her. I'm on Weibo, you contact an acquaintance in Sijukan and ask what it is. If so, use the money to make a deal. She hung up the phone, immediately logged into Weibo, and circled Si fucking with a cold face. At Xiuoxianyuv at Sifukingv, can you explain why you caused the construction site accident, but put the blame on my father? How long have we raised you? Even if you turn your face after the fire, you won't push people to a desperate situation, right? Zhou Xianyu lost his business talent, and he didn't think so much about many things. She didn't even check, she just posted such a Weibo. Any Weibo with Si fucking's name on it has a high number of views. Netizens and fans came to hear the news. What's the situation? I ate too much melon, I knew that I couldn't stand in line for the first time, so I waited for Si fucking's reply. Do you need my sister to reply when making rumors? What kind of rubbish can rub my sister's heat? Zhou Xianyu's words are still credible. She is a young business genius, you may not know it, but she is really powerful. There is really no need to get along with Si fu. If this is true, Si fucking is really a bit of a sly guy. But the Zhou family has been quite unlucky recently, dead, disabled, tisk tisk, I am afraid that I have done something wrong. After being popularized by Lin Jiwan on how to use Kaihua, Nian Yan will open Kaihua every day, and sometimes he will help fight against gangsters. After seeing this Weibo, he immediately rushed out of the bedroom. Dad, Mom, something happened. The family who adopted Sister Ching Ching said she was a white-eyed wolf. Nian Tingchu frowned. What? He hasn't even figured out how to kidnap Si fucking with the Zhou family. The Zhou family even had a face jumping out. Pillow sleep, don't let the Zhou family be slandered. Nian Tingchu took a deep breath. You register an account on Weibo, and we will speak. Even though Nian Hechuan has been dead for many years, his daughter is not something that a mere Zhou family can bully. Yekinmian's expression was also very cold. Okay, I'll speak now. At Mayan, I am Kinking's aunt. I found her with her uncle not long ago, and did a paternity test. Picture the child was found, and some accounts should be settled. we hereby file a legal action against the Zhou family. You maliciously abducted and sold the young child, and even more maliciously let her be under someone else's guard, creating the illusion that she is an orphan, and said to the outside world that you are philanthropists doing charity work. Do you have no children of your own? Or is there another conspiracy? At Zuoxianyuvi, please explain to the public why we kidnapped our children.